So hello guys, so welcome to this live stream. All right, so basically this is a video on how to create a to-do app API. So I believe you guys already have basic knowledge about programming, right? And we are going to use JavaScript for this application. So, and I believe you guys are also familiar with web technologies, or better say web terminologies, especially like web requests, web response, and other stuff on the web. So I believe you guys are familiar with it. But if there is anything you don't understand, or better say there is any term that you don't know, maybe maybe you can just reach me up so that I can put you through, or better say you can google some stuff online, and as well use free video on YouTube to learn some of all those stuff. But I believe that before this tax is being given, they must have taught you guys about web application and web stuff, right? How web work and other stuff. So we are going to just be building a simple to do app, right? So currently on my desktop I'm using Kali operating system, right? So there is every probability or possibility that you are on Windows system, right? But if you are on Linux, just like me, I'm on Kali Linux. If you are on Kali Linux as me, you can easily follow me. But if you are on Windows, there is no much difference on what I'm going to be doing. So the program basically is going to be built on every device, that is going to be cross-platform, right? So it's not platform independent, be it Windows, be it Mac OS, or be it Linux. So you should be able to run your program as easy as that. But some of the stuff I will just do, maybe like creating directory and navigating my file system, it might be different in Windows and other operating system. Basically I'm on Linux, right? I'm on Kali Linux. I'm using Kali Linux operating system. So I've created a checklist. So let me go to my, I think I have this checklist. So I've created a checklist that we are going to follow to build this program. Let me see. So that I've created a checklist already that we can easily follow to build this program. So let me see. Okay, this is it here. I have to do app API checklist, right? So these are, I have divided, or better say I break down the tasks into different steps, right? So once we follow this step, we should be able to you should be able, if you should follow this step, you should be able to build similar application, right? So I have done first version of this program, right? I've designed my own version of this program and I have hosted it on GitHub already. So if you are familiar with GitHub, you should know how to navigate your way around GitHub. So I've done a first version of the application. So this first version, it has the front end and other stuff, but for this video we are going to build together basically API. So there is no front end, just the back end, just the API aspect, right? Straight to the task, what they give you to do, that's what we do. But I have another what they call that program that I created initially, right? I created this program about 3 hours ago. Created this program. So you should so I will basically just show you how you can get your program up and running, right? So I've already used this program, so I'm just going to use this program because once I finish it on this video, all the code I'm going to create on this video, that is the application that we are going to create together on this video, I'm going to host it on GitHub, right? I'm going to host it on GitHub and I'm going to share you the link to the GitHub. So if I finish the application, I'm going to share you a code like this. I am going to share you a link like this. Can you see this link? So that's the link. So this is another program, or better, this is a program that I created personally, right? So for just this demonstration, so I created it. So once I share you that link, once I send you that link, you are just going to clone the code from GitHub, right? So I'm going to show you on how you will clone it using this sample project, right? So everything we are going to do, we are going to you're going to clone it. And as well, you can follow the video to build your own yourself. But if you don't want to build your own, maybe due to some stuff, due to some reason, maybe time frame and others, and you want to come back to the video later, you can do as well. So you can just easily go to what you can just easily use that link that I'm going to share to you. You use it to what, to clone the project, and you have your program up and what, and running, right? So now I'm on my desktop. Currently I'm on my desktop, so this is my desktop, right? So on my terminal, I'm on my desktop. You can see it. If I should do pwd for print working directly, currently I'm on my on my desktop, right? So this is my desktop here. So what I will do, I'm going to make a directory. So I'm just going to create a directory. So I will just call this demo, right? This is not the actual code, so I just want to show you on how to clone a GitHub repository. So I will just type demo API, or better say demo to do app API, right? So I will just create that, and I will change my directory to what, to that folder I just created, right? So I use the mkdir to make directory, that is create directory, and I cd to that directory. So currently I'm on that directory. So if I should just print my correct working directory, you can see that I'm on on demo. So this is it here. Can you see this app? This is it here, demo to do app API. So I just created it from my terminal. So now for me to get that code, right, I will just do git. So this is what you will do as well. Once I'm done, I will share you the link. So I will share you the GitHub link. So this is what you should do. You just type git clone, right? So once I do git clone, I'm going to paste the clipboard. I'm going to place the link, right? So if you are on any operating system, make sure that you have git installed already. If you have any issue with git, just hit me up. But you should install git. If you should run it this way and it gives you any issue that git is not installed, just follow the prompt to install git. So git clone, this is the URL. So I will just click on enter. So you should pull the code from GitHub. So if I should ls, I have to do API. So I will just cd to do API ls. So I have my codes here. So I've pulled my code from GitHub. So I will just open this on my VS Code. So I will just type code dot to open it on VS Code. So this is the code here. All right, so this is the file. So I can easily let me run this so that you will see what I have here. Right, so I have the front end. You can see this is the front end code. This is just basically a simple for the front end, as you can see, for the front end. And I have the server. So this server.js is for the back end, right? This is the API, the back end, whereas this front end is for the client, right? So I just created this, but what you are asked to do is just the server.js, that is the back end, right? So that's what we are going to do on this video, but I just want to show you a demo of how the project runs first. So first of all, I'm going to start this my server on this script.js. So I will just let me start this my script.js. So I will just open my terminal and call script. So I will call node, right? Node script.js. So I will just hit this. So my server is already running on port 8080. So I will like to start this my server as well. So I will just open a new terminal. So I will create a new terminal. So I will create another terminal and run my server as well, server.js. So the first one was this is it here. My first one was script.js. So this my script.js is the front end. So this one is running the front end, and this my server.js, this one is running the back end, right? So you can see that my script.js is running on my scripts. Let me go to the first one here. You can see my cursor. So my script.js, node script.js is running on port 8080, whereas my server.js is running on on port 3000. So once I just go to my local host and I go to port 8080, I should see my application. So I will just go to that route, right? I will just go to localhost port 3000. I will just set it. So is it port 3000? Let me see. Okay, my script is running on port 8080. So let me go to port 8080. 80 80. So right, so this is it. So this is the front end, right? So but in the program that we are going to create now, I'm not going to include what this front end. So this is what the front end of just a sample word front end. So you can add what, let's say gym. I'm going to gym, add something to your to-do list. So I add my gym, right? So I can add cook. So I add that, and I have wash, add wash and stuff like that. So and I can click on this red button to delete all those tags and stuff like that. So this is for the front end. So let me go to the back end. So let me run the server. So this one is currently running, my server.js is currently running on port 3000. So and my route, right, my route that I'm using is /API/to-dos, right? So let me go there. So currently, if I should run that, if I should open that, I will not have anything currently running there, because let me go there. So I will go to localhost port 3000 /API/to-dos, right? So this it is, right? So I'm just having an empty array here, right? So this is for what? For my backend, right? So and oh yeah, this for my backend, for the what? For the get request, right? So for this program, for this course, we are going to install a third-party application, right? You can just go to your browser. You can just go to your favorite browser and type for postman. So this postman is what we are going to use for what? To build our API. So this postman is used for API what? Development, not basically development, but for testing your API, right? Because our web browser can only we can only use our web browser to test for get requests. For us to test other type of requests like the put request, the post request, and the delete request, we won't be able to use our browser for that. Our browser is only there for get request. So with the help of a third-party platform like Postman, we'll be able to test for we will be able to test our API and test different HTTP method, right? You can test different HTTP method, and I'm sure, or better say, I hope that you guys are familiar with different terminology in web application. If you are not familiar with it, then you should go and work studying on it, because I believe that you already know some of all this term HTTP methods, right? The HTTP method, the HTTP service code, right? All those stuff. Though I'm going to try my best to rehearse all those stuff for you, right? But you should have a forward knowledge of it, right? So I'm going to use this postman to test for my for my backend, right? So I will just come to what are they calling it? I will create a new workplace, not workplace. So give me a few seconds. Postman API. So let me see. Supposed to have something here. Send an API request. Okay, new request. Sorry. So I have to go to new request. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I was saying about this postman, right? So you have to download this postman. Sorry, I just lost my my thinking, right? So you go to this postman platform and download it, right? So I'm already signed in. So this is their web platform. So I already have the app already in my desktop. So I am seeing a different terminal. So that's why I'm trying to look at it to understand what is going on. But I forgot that I'm on their web, right? So you just go to postman, right? Let me see. I'm already logged in here. Let me see if I can get a new browser so that I will show you how to download it. So let me just use one of these, my browser, and go to postman. So go to postman. So you should download this if you are on what are they calling it, on Windows. That's very easy for you to download. And if you're on Linux or any Mac, so you should know how to download application. So we have so you just go to postman, and let me see if I will see the download button here. So product, let me see. So can you see, just click on product, right, and click on download postman, right? So it should automatically select your platform. So I have Linux here, so it has already selected my platform, which is what Linux. I'm using Linux. So if you are on Windows, if you are using Windows OS, it should bring Windows already for you, and any operating system you are using should bring it. So click on what install it, this download file here. So you just click on it. I have it already, so it's downloading. So I already have it. I'm not going to download it again. So download it and install it on your Windows. And for Linux user, I believe you know how to install application. So go about that. So I already have my Postman already, right? So let me clear all these things. So this was what I was using to test the API initially that I created. So I will just have a new blank sheet like this, right? So this for what? This my Postman here. So that's what we'll be using to test our API, right? So I will just let me see. Let me close this tab here, and also I want to close this. All right, so yeah, so that's it. So let me test our API for now. So I already have my server is running. So my API server is already running on port 300, on 3000 rather, and the route, this is my route here. So the route is /API/ to do's. So I will just go to my Postman and click on this plus icon here. So it will bring, so the first one is my get request. So I will just go local, or I think I have it already. So let me see if I should. Let me see. So let me just go to the URL. I don't want to make any mistake on the URL. So let me go to the URL and copy it. So this is it here. So I will just copy this URL, this link, go to my Postman and paste it here. So once I paste it here, I will click on send. So I have my status code 2000, right? So that means my code is okay. The file has been set successfully, and I have an empty array, the same thing that I have here. Let me go to the browser. You can see when I go to this route, I have an empty array. So likewise on my Postman, I'm having an empty array. So currently our array is empty in the program. So now let's go to to post. So this post is for us to add to add a post, right? So I've changed it to the method to so instead of me to even change it. So let me just leave this on get and create another terminal. So another request. So I will push this as post, and as well use that same URL, right? So I will go to just follow my work. So I will click on body. Can you see this? Click on body and click on raw. Click on that raw. Can you see that? So here I will I want to post. So I will just post a JSON file. So I will post this and put title, right? Title, and my title will be, let me say my title is post 1, right? Or let me say first post. So I will click on send. So as you can see, I have a status code of 201 that is created. A new resource was created, and I have this my post that I just created. This is the title, first post, and I have the title here, first post. If I should go back to this my get, right, initially when we access this route, we saw that we have an empty array. But if I should refresh it or resend it again, we can see that we have this data that we just posted using our our API, that is our post method that we posted. So if I should go back to my URL as well, and if I should refresh this, I should have my post. Can you see that I just refreshed my URL, and I have this post here. So we have the post has an ID. It has a title, which is the first post, and it has completed, which is initially is first, right? So now for you to have maybe your browser, if you're on your browser, you might not have if you should maybe later when we are done with everything, you might not have this format, right? You might not have this format, right? You just install an extension. I install the JSON formatter, right? It's an extension, Chrome extension. So you can just go to your Chrome store. Let me go to Chrome store, right? Go to this Chrome web store, and you search for JSON formatter, right? So this is it here. So this JSON formatter, can you see that's JSON formatter? I already have it, so you click on it to add. So you add it. Then once you add it, you click on this icon extension and pin the JSON formatter. Just pin it, right? So I've already pinned it here. So this is it here. So just go to Chrome Web Store and download the JSON formatter. So this is the second download that we are doing for today. The first download is Postman, and now the second one is JSON formatter, and you get this from from Chrome Web Store, right? So once you download that and you pin it, you should have something like this. Initially, if you do not have it, this is how your post will look like. Can you see that? If you should access it, this is how your post will look like. So you just click on past, right? Currently it's on raw, so you click on past and you should have it like this, right? So that's for the what are they calling it, for the post. And also I can still post again. Let me go back to the post. I can post another post. I can say so I can say my second post. Okay, let me put it that way, my second post, and I will send it. So I've sent it. I have 201 created, and I have my second post. So if I should go back to my get request, you can see that currently here I just have one of these. So if I should click on send, meaning I'm refreshing, I will have two, right? I have first post, and I have my second post. And likewise, if I should go to let me see, if I should go to my browser, you can see initially I have just one post. If I should refresh it, I have my second post. Can you see that? My second post, and I have my first post, right? So that's how the post method work. So the next one is the third one will be the put, which is for updating, right? The put method is for updating. You update, whereas this post is to add, right? So this post method is to add. If you want to add anything to your HTTP, yeah, so you use your post method. If you want to request for something, right? You use your get to make request. You are getting. For post, you are putting that you are adding, right? Whereas for put, you are updating. Now this post is used to create a new post, right? It's used to create a new to do. Now this put is used to update, right? So we just follow the same method. So now I've changed I just click on the plus, and my method here, can you see this drop down here? That's where our HTTP method is. So I click on it and I change it to to put, right? So I put the URL. So this is my URL, my web URL. So I go to my body, I go to raw, right? So now this put is as I said earlier, is for updating. So that means you are updating a specific post that has already been created, right? So for you to be able to update a post, that means that post has been created, is active on our database, right? So now the unique way to get a post or to update a post is by using the ID of that post. And you can see that each of our posts has an ID, and this ID is unique to each post. That is, two posts can never have the same ID, right? We are going to see how we are going to create this ID as well. So each post has an ID is created once, and it cannot be updated, so that post we have a unique ID. So to update a particular post, we use the ID which is unique, right? Because if your ID is not unique, you can accidentally update or delete different posts, right? Just imagine that this our post one, our first post, have the same ID as our second post. By the time we are editing our first post using the ID, it will be it will be affecting the second post or any other post that have that same ID. So that's why we make our ID to be unique. In short, in most application, right? In most application, and the convenient, or better say the convention of web application, is that all ID, they are unique, right? IDs are unique. So we created these IDs to be unique. So when we want to update a post, we have to supply the ID of that particular place. Assuming I want to change this my second post. Can you see that? My second post, I want to update this completed. Now imagine when you add a a post at the beginning, you know that that post normally is not what completed. So but once you are done with that particular task, you want to update the status of that task to be completed, right? So we put completed here to be false. So I am done with this my first post. So what will I do? So let me even be more realistic. So instead of first post, second post, let me create something more. Okay, now let me leave it to when we are done with us. So this is just for demonstration purpose and illustration purpose. Once we are done creating our own API, we are going to test it using read data, right? So I want to update this post. So let me just copy this ID of my first post. So I want to update the status to completed. So I will just copy it and I will go to this place. So I will add that ID to the URL, right? Can you see that I'm adding it to the URL? Just put it there. Don't worry, everything you are going to understand how everything is as we start coding, right? So this is just the byproduct that is after everything behind the scene already. So you are going to understand how everything works once we start coding. So I put my ID, that is I want to edit this specific post with this ID. So I put my ID, then I come to my body. I will create my JSON data, right? So what I want to edit is completed, right? Completed. And what would that be? So I want to change it to true. So I will put this in. So I want to change it to true. Can you see that? So I will send it. So I have sent it. So you see that the status code is 200. That is okay. Everything is fine. And you can see that this is my ID and the post that has been updated, this is it. So you can see completed has been changed to true. Can you see that the completed has been changed to true, whereas initially it was false? So I have not refreshed it. So once I click on send, you will see that this completed, which was false, will change to true, because I have used my put method to update this particular post, and I updated this completed status to true. So I will just click on send. So once I click on send, you see that this has been changed to true. So as well, if I should go to my browser, right, you can see here completed, it was it's false. So if I refresh, it should be you can see that it's now true, right? So that's how the put method works. So the final method, or better say HTTP method, the final HTTP method is the delete method, and this delete method will delete a specific post, right? So I will put my URL, right? Put my URL, and I want to delete a specific post. So once my post is completed, which is true, I want that post to be deleted. So I will as well use this URL. So I've completed this task already. So as this task completed is the status of the completed is true, I want to delete that particular task. So I will just copy the ID of this task and go to my delete. So don't forget, I will change this. Can you see that now? This one I will have to change it to delete, right? So I click on it, forward, and paste my ID, right? Can you see that specific ID, the ID of this particular post, right, which is completed? So I paste the ID here. So once I paste the ID, I will just click on send. So as you can see, I have status code 204, right? Status code 4. You say there is no content to send for this request. So we see that that means our everything is okay once you have this status code of 200. And I believe you guys are familiar with status code. We have different status code, so you have to be familiar with that before you start web, anything pertaining to web. So you understand your status code. We have status code 200, we have status code 300, 400, we have 404 and stuff like that. So you have to be familiar with all this stuff if you did not know them, right? But as you are programming, I'm going to try my best to explain all these terms to you, right? So once you see a status code of 200, that means everything is okay. Everything is okay, and you can see that is green, showing that everything is fine and okay, right? Everything is fine and okay. But if you should have status code of 400 or 404, that means there is an error, page is not found. Or you have 300 status code of 300, 301, they are redirect, right? 300 is redirect, whereas 500 is server error. that is your server is not running. For example, let me go to my this thing. You can see that my server is running here, right? Let me stop my server and let me try to send a post. You see that this code is going to change to what? To the status code is going to change. So you can see now I'm having something here, say error. Okay, let me try another one. Let me try get. So let me send this. Okay, it automatically what went off. So it automatically went off. So let me try another method. I'm going to put an error in my code. I want my code to have error so that when I run it, I should have an error. So I will save that. I want my code to have error so that it will not run. So I will show you something and it show you. So I have error now. Right, I just added this block of code here. This is not a valid JavaScript code, so I just added it so that I should have error. Okay, my this thing is not even running. It did not run, right, because of what? Of that error. So but don't worry, Sha, we are going to see it. We are going to see other method. But okay, I think I have way to create a server error. So let me create one. Let me just come back. Let me run my server again. Okay, I've not saved my file, so I save it and run my server again. So sorry. Let me just close this. Let me close this, please, and let me open this up. So let me open this up and take this up a bit, right? So let me clear here. So I will run my server again. Node what? Node server.js. So I will run my server. My server is up and running, right? So everything is fine, right? So as you can see, initially I have 2 posts, but now I have just what? 1 post. So because I've deleted one using this delete method, right? So now let me say I want to use post, right? I don't want to specify any data, so let me remove this and send. I had not put any data for post, so you see I will have error. So now can you see this? Now I have what? An error. Can you see this? Now can you see this? Now we have 500, a status code of what? 500. Now it said what? Internal server what? Error. So the server has encountered a situation. So the meaning of this server has encountered a situation, that means our server has crashed. So if I should go back to my code, right? So if I should go, you can see that what? I'm having errors here. Can you see that? That means our server has crashed. So that's for this status code for what? 500, right? But if I should have a status code of, let's say, let me try let's say to do's slash let's say 1. So I will send this. So you see we have another status code. Can you see the status code 404? Can you see this? We have the status code not what found. So this status code 404 means what? The resources that I'm trying to access is not what? It's not found. So these are basic stuff that you should know, right? So all these are status code. We have the HTTP method. The first one we discussed is the HTTP method, and I've talked about what status code. So it will tell you the status of what the message that you are sending. The HTTP status state and and status, right? So 200 means everything is fine and okay. 300 means what? Redirect is redirecting you to another URL. 400 means what? We have what the page that you are looking for, what you are trying to access is not found. Whereas 500 means what? Server error. That is, there is something with your server. So that is a basic introduction, or better see a basic demonstration of this process. So let's go to the actual business, right? So let's go to the actual business. So I will just stop this server here and clear this. So we start our project. So this is just a basic demonstration and a basic introduction. So likewise I will go to my second server, right? So this is my second server for the front end. So I will close this as well. So if you need this code, just let me know, especially for the front end. If you need it, you can play with it, you can work with it, but I'm done with all this here already. So we are going to create our own personal code from scratch. We'll create our own personal API. We are not going to include the front end and some stuff here. We are not going to include them, right? So we see how we create our API from scratch, and it will perform everything that we just performed here, which is what they ask you to do, right? So I will just clear all this stuff from here. Right? So that's that. So let's get started. So first of all, I'm going to let me exit this place. So I will just check here. So I want to go back. I want to remove this rm-r. So So I want to remove this app. Okay, enter ls and to do cannot remove. Okay, so whatever, if I should use sudo rm -r, if I should remove you, won't you go? Oh shit, asking me for my password. Okay, so let me see if this guy has gone. Yeah, it has gone. So that's that. So I've removed what this folder. So this folder is no longer there, so I will just close this. Right, so let's get our project started. So now, as I said earlier, that I already have what a checklist, so I think I'm done with this. Yeah, I'm done with this. So I have what a checklist. So let me close this down. Alright, so I have a checklist on, let me close this down, we don't need it again. So I have a checklist on what we'll be creating, a step-by-step guide on what will be creating. So if you should follow this step, we are going to follow this step together, right? So as we are following this step, we are going to create this our to do app API, right? So the first step is to create. We have the first step is set up the project. So we create a new folder and we name the folder to do app API. So let me go there. I will go to my terminal. So I will just make a new directory, and what did I say I should call it? To do app API, right? So that's it. So you can see it here. If I ls, I have it. So I will cd into that cd to do, right? So I will just cd into that, simple as that. So the next thing is it's a move to the to the created folder. So I've cd, I've moved to that folder already. Then the next one is to initialize a new Node.js. So as I told you earlier, that we are going to be using JavaScript to build this project, and we are using JavaScript, and we are using the JavaScript, and JavaScript is the programming language, right? And we are using Node.js. Node.js is a runtime, right? You can go and search that out. So Node.js is not a programming language, it's a runtime environment for JavaScript, right? So Node.js allows to run JavaScript for backend. Actually, when JavaScript was created initially, right, JavaScript is basically for what? JavaScript was meant to run on the web, right? To run on the on the browser, right? On the browser, that's what they created JavaScript initially for. But as time as things evolve, right, JavaScript was like, okay, instead of a developer to go and learn JavaScript, which is a programming language, and remember, HTML is not a programming language, CSS is not a programming language, JavaScript is the programming language, right? So there are some people that use or better still, in short, if you want to create UI that is your front end, you must use JavaScript, because JavaScript is your front end language, right? That's for the front end. Use JavaScript for your front end. But as time goes on, they now said, instead of you learning JavaScript and trying to migrate to another programming language like PHP, PHP, right? Laravel is a framework in PHP, or Python, and Jargon is the framework for Python, right? And other stuff, programming language like Ruby on Rails and the rest. They say instead of you to go and learn another programming language, let's just allow you to learn JavaScript once, and you can use JavaScript for your front end, and as well use JavaScript for your back end. But note that JavaScript initially was not created to run on the back end, it was only created to run on the front end. So with the help of Node.js, we are now able to run JavaScript on the server side. Remember, your front end is your client. I believe you understand all these things already. I'm just trying to brush through, because I don't like me using terms that I am not sure that you understand. So that's why I'm trying to explain some stuff, right? So your client is your browser. They are making requests. Your client, which is the browser, is making requests. For example, if I should go to, let's say I go to let me go to youtube.com, right? So let's say I go to youtube.com. So I'm making a request. So let me see if I can inspect, right? Let me see. So I'm basically I'm making a request. So let me see if I can get hold of that. So basically I'm making requests. As you can see a lot of requests that are going here. Can you see them? You can see a lot of things that are what that are going on under the what under the network. All these things are things that I'm requesting. All this image, favicon, all this stuff, they are the ones here. Can you see that? And they have this status code of what of 200. As you can see, all of that means everything is what is successful. They're having a status code of what 200. So basically when you make a search on your what on your web browser, you are the client, right? You are the client that is making the request. So the server is somewhere. So the server will send what a response. So I sent a request to what to youtube.com, and as soon as I send a request to what to youtube.com, my domain name system will go what and go to what to the web, to the internet, to search for what for youtube.com, and I'm requesting what the front page, that is the home page of youtube.com, and the server, which is what responsible for what for holding what youtube.com. Basically, what is a server? You should know what a server is. A server is just is a system that is running, right? A system that is running on the what on the internet. Basically, it's just a system, but that system is what is running 247. That server is just like a computer, a system that is somewhere, that is what that is running up and running, right? So it's sending, but that system is connected to the what to the internet, right? So that is a server. So the server will make a response to your what to your request, right? So you make a request, I want this. Just for example, you are searching for what for a file on your system. For example, I can just go to my what to my file system. I can just say, okay, let me search for, let's say, G. So you can see as I search for it, so my system will respond. So once I click on it, it will respond to give me what that particular data that I'm searching for. So that's just basically how the network, that is you the client, which is the browser, the client, is making requests to what to the server, right? So we query the server. So all these things that we are entering, they are the parameter and what and query that we are entering to what to fetch data. So if I should go to shorts, as you can see, if I should go to short, I'm going to send a request to my what to my server as well. I'm going to send a request to the server of YouTube, and YouTube is going to what once you receive my request, then it's going to send me back what a response, right? It's going to send me back a response, and if everything goes out well, then it should send me what. For example, I requested what this URL. Can you see this URL? So he sent me what this video. Why? Because this URL is valuable. Let's say I added EDDD. I just add random character here and click enter. So you can see now I have what not found. Can you see this on my on my bar? It says 404. Can you see that? So I query I send a request to the server that please I need this, and the server check on his system and say I do not have this, and he return what this page of 444, that is, it's not found. So this request that I sent is not valid. So it gives me a 404 not found page, because that my request is not valid, right? So that was basically how how the HTTP work. So you should know that, right? So just as I was saying, I said we are going to use JavaScript, but we are using JavaScript for the backend, and for us to be able to use JavaScript on the backend, we need Node.js, right? We need the Node.js, and Node.js is a runtime environment for JavaScript. So Node.js allows us to run JavaScript on the backend, right? So we are going to use Node.js, that is a container that allows us to run JavaScript from the backend, and we are going to use a framework, right? A web framework to what? Okay, let me go first. So I have cd into my to the file that the folder that I created. And so you should if you don't have Node.js on your system, right, just go to Node.js, right? Go to this URL, right? nodejs.org. So you go to this URL and download Node.js, right? You click on on download. So it should automatically detect your OS. Let me see. It should automatically detect your OS. So I don't want to download this. Let me cancel it. It has already downloaded. So as you can see, it has already detected my operating system, right? Can you see it? Linux, right? So this is is Linux. So this is it here, Linux. So I can download standalone here, right? So Linux, right? So if you are on Windows, it should automatically select Windows for you, right? Using Vim, Vim and npm with npm. So right, so you download and install. So you can just copy this URL, right? Copy this URL, just copy this URL and paste it on your on your terminal. If you are on on Linux, if you are on Windows, It's very easy now. So you just click on what, on download. I think, let me see, it's just that. So just go to the what, to the download page. Let me go to the home page. So you click on this. Can you see that? Click on this thing, it should automatically download. See, it has already downloaded Linux for me. It knows my system already. So just click on the download and follow the what, the prompt. So the first software that we, let me write it here, the first software that we downloaded, let me write software downloads, right? So the first software that we downloaded was, the first one was what was that? Postman, right? The second one was okay, extension, web Chrome web extension, right? Extension, can I spell that right? I think so. So the extension was what was it? JSON formatter, right? So that's it, JSON formatter. That was the name of the extension that we downloaded. And the third thing that we are downloading now is what, Node.js, right? So you go to the official Node.js web page and what, and download what, Node.js. So these are the three softwares that we have downloaded so far, right? So I already have Node.js what installed, so you should have it. So if I should just type Node, so if you want to know if you have Node.js already installed, you can type Node -v, right? -v. So it will give you the what, the version of what, of Node that you are currently running. As you can see, I have version what, 23.6.1. So if you should type Node v and you don't have anything, that means you are what, if you don't have any output like that means your Node, you don't have Node. So you just go to the what, to this platform, right? This is nodejs.org and click on download. Windows is very easy. Follow the what, the prompts, and you are good to go, right? So that's that for what, for Node.js installation. So the next thing is all right, so after we have installed our what, initialize a new Node.js project, so we go and what, initialize a new project. So let me see, ls. So let me print this. I'm currently into Do App API, so I'll just do what, npm. So once you install Node, npm will be installed. So what is npm? Npm is what, is Node, it stands for what, Node Package Manager. Npm, Node Package Manager, right? Node Package Manager, that's what npm stands for, Node Package Manager, right? So I will just do npm init, right? So I will just do what, so let me do init. So I click enter, right? So it said I should what, package name, right? So I can just leave it to Do App API. So I like this way. So I will click on enter. So it asks me for version. I don't want to enter anything. So it's asked me for description. All these things are things that we can later edit, right? For now, I click on enter. Okay, all these things are things that we can, what we can do. So I will just do ls, right? We have our what. So after I typed Node init, right? Sorry, npm, not Node now. Npm init, right? So it gives me what, all this prompt. But if I just want to escape up this prompt, right, as you can see, I did not put anything. If I just want to escape those prompts, I will just put -y. So I click enter and everything is fine, right? Everything is fine for me. So once I enter ls, so I have what, I have this, my what, package.json. So once I enter that command, we have this package.json, right? So I have initialized what, my Node.js what, project. So the next thing that we are going to do is to what, install the necessary what, tools and libraries. So we need what, tools and what, and libraries. So we are going to use what, a framework, a JavaScript framework, or better say a Node.js web framework, right? A framework. Now what is a framework? A framework is just basically a library of what, interrelated what, tools, right? For example, you want to build web application, you want to build a website, there is a framework that already has all these tools. So instead of you to create everything from scratch, they already have pre-built what, modules that you can just import, and you are going to use them without you creating them from scratch. So that's what library basically does. So, or better say framework rather, not library, now framework. So Express is a what, is a, let me type it, Express is a what, is a Node.js what, web application framework, as you can see it. Express what? Express is a what? Node.js what? Web application what? Framework. Very, very what? Lightweight. Very good and easy to use to create what? Web application, right? You want to create websites, you want to create web application, web app, and API, especially API. Use what? Express, right? Express. So we are going to what? We are going to what? Install what? Express. So we are going to install what? Express. So I will go to my terminal and what? Type npm. Don't forget, I say npm is your what? Node package manager. So that's what we'll be using for some packages, like from other languages. We have pip, like in Python. I forgot, is it Python something? Yeah, pip for Python and other stuff. Other package manager with their what? Other programming language with their what? Package manager. But for JavaScript and Node.js, basically Node.js, we use npm. So we use npm install, right? So I will put the application Express. Can you see that? Npm install Express. So I will just click on it, and all the required application that we need is going to be installed. So as you can see, added 60, sorry, it has added what? 67 packages and audited 68 packages in what? In 7 seconds. 40 packages are looking for funding and stuff like that, right? So that's that. So I think we are good to go. So we have our package, very good. So we have installed necessary to then, okay, the fifth one is to update. So that's that. So I think we are done from using the terminal for now. So I will clear that and open my what? My code editor. So I will do code dot to open what? VS Code, right? So use this on your terminal. But if you are not on Linux, right, you can, even if you are not on Linux, you can do this on Windows. Open your PowerShell or your command prompt and type, navigate to your platform, to your folder and everything where you have your code. Just go there and type code dot. Once you type code dot, then it should open your what? Your VS Code. So I will click enter. But if it did not work, just go click on your what? On your VS Code. Once you click on it, then you navigate to the folder and you do what? You open it. So that's that. So I've opened my folder. As you can see, I have to do app API. So I have my what? Node module. So all these are the modules that we installed initially. So can you see them? All these are what we need. And let me scroll up. We are going to see Express as well. So can you see it now? We have Express here. This is Express. Can you see that? Express. So those are what we installed. So we have this package of JSON. So this package of JSON, let's see, it has our what? So this package.json has our information. As you can see, the name of our app is Todo App API. We have the version. You can add the version. We have the description, and just say a simple to do app API. So that's that. License, we have IC. There's no need for that. So for the author, you can enter your name here. For here, we enter my name. So I will enter my name as the author. So you can enter your name as well. So now this is very, very what? Important. So that is our what? That is what will take us to our what? Our step number 5, right? Don't forget step 1. We are under setting up the project. So now we have what? Step 5, which is what? Update package or JSON. So that we are currently on what? On package.json, right? So we are updating that, and it says change. Can you see that? And change type from common JS. So we are changing type. So here is type. This is type. So we are changing this from common JS to what? Let me check it, to module, right? We change it to what? To module, right? So we change this common.js to what? To module. And later I'm going to tell you. So the newest form of what? Of using Node.js now is what? Is the module form. So this module will allow us to export and import file. Though we are not exporting and importing anything here, but I'm just good and fine using what? Module. So just change this, right? This type, under this type, change it to what? To modules, right? So for our main, so let me change this to, instead of main, I will change it to let's say change to server.js, right? Create java.what.js. So I will save this file. I'm good to go. So that's that, right? So here we have what? So let me put the step 6. So let's say step 6 here. Yeah, step 6, and we create, so let me put this here. So I'll create server.js. So that is the name of file. So I will create server.js. So I will just add that as what, as number 6. So let me go here. So I will create a what, a file. So I will name it server.js. Can you see that? So that's that. So we have it as java.js. So this is our main what, our main file, our JS, our JavaScript file. So now the next step, we are done with the first step. The next step is to what, import all required libraries, right? So the only library that we are using here is what, our Express, which we installed initially. So I will just do import Express. So we are importing Express from, right, Express. So we are importing Express from what, Express, right? So that's what we just do. So we are only using Express for step 2. So step 3 is what, create the Express app. So we are creating Express app, create an instance of Express application. So we create instance of what, so we are creating an instance of Express application. We say app, so we say const. So we are creating const, right, const. So we name it app. So this, we are creating a variable called app. So we create an instance of what, Express. So this is equals to what, Express, right? Can you see that? So we have it as what, as Express. So that is the instance that we are creating. So that's a const app equals to express.js. So then we define what, a port number. So this is the port number that we want our what, our server to run on, right? And I believe I've said it earlier that I believe you understand some terminology, because especially web, right? Basically our web runs on port 80, right? HTTP, right? HTTP protocol, HTTPS, right? HTTPS protocols. I think it runs on port 80, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, on port 80. HTTP what, run on port 80, whereas HTTPS run on port 80. HTTP runs on port let me check it. Sorry, let me not mistake that. Okay, I think HTTP runs on port 80. HTTPS run on port, I think, 443. So let me check. HTTP and HTTPS port number. So let me just check that. Okay, that's it now. So the standard port number for HTTP is what, port 80, as you can see here. So HTTP is running on port 80, whereas HTTPS is running on port what, 443, right? So what is HTTP? Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So this HTTP, that's what the web is using. This is the protocol that the web is using. HTTPS is the what, is the secured form of HTTP. So HTTPS stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secured, whereas HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol, right? So this is unsecured, this is what, secured, HTTPS. So most web application uses what, HTTPS, right? Hardly for you to see an application, you can see here, can you see that HTTP what, has, most application use what, HTTPS, right? So that's that for that. So our basic HTTP use what, port. So we want to create a port, and I think we have ports, right? Our ports, we have a total of 65,535 ports. Yeah, 65,000. Can you see that? 65,535 ports, if I'm not mistaken, right? So let me just check that out. Total numbers of ports. So the total number, yeah, I'm correct. Can you see that? So we have 65,535 possible what, numbers of ports, right? So there are some standard ports like our HTTPS, our HTTP, TCP, TCPS, SSH, and stuff. A lot of ports. You are into cyber security, you are into programming, you are into networking, we know all those ports. So those are stuff. So we create what, a port. So basically most developers, they like using port 8080, right? Most developers like using port 8080. Some like using port 3000, but just use any port that is any port that you are not using before, because if you have a port that is running already, that a program is already running on, you are going to have issues run using that port again, right? So just choose any random port. For this project, I'm going to use port 8080, right? So that's that. So I've created my port. So what next? So let me go back to let me clear this Google search. I believe you are learning one thing or the other, right? So I've created my port. So yeah, I use port 3000, but you can use anything. You can just use 1000 and above, at least 1000 and above, 1000, 20,000, 10,000, 100, no, 65. Highest is 65,535. So use anything, but you can make me and use 8080 for easier stuff. So the next one is to add a middleware. So basically, what is a middleware? Basically, let's say in web development, should I say web development? Yeah, let me just use it that way. In web development, we have what we call the MVC pattern, right? MVC pattern, and this MVC stands for middleware. Is it middleware? No, I've forgotten. So let me Google it. Architecture. So good. So we have the model. Yeah, sorry, model, not middleware. So we have the model view controller, right? We have the model view controller. Now this model basically is what we put in our database. The view is what the user will see, that is your function and stuff. This controller is what we call the middleware. So this controller is your programming logic, the way it transfers your data. So this is not, don't worry, you are going to know it better. You can check, you can Google stuff, you can Google web application MVC widely using web development framework. So you can see it. This MVC is widely used, right, in web application, desktop application, and mobile application. So you are going to see it a lot. But what I just want to explain is what is the middleware. So that middleware is the one that is there to interpret our data. For this app, is just using just one middleware. Some app have a lot of middleware, but this one is just using a single middleware. And this middleware, what we are going to be using for is JSON. So we have what we call JSON. What is JSON basically? You should be familiar with all this stuff, but what am I doing? You should be familiar with all this stuff, but I like to make sure my students are clear, right? So what is JSON? JSON means what? JavaScript, right? Let me put it this way. JavaScript, JavaScript object, right? Then and start for what? Notation. So that's what our JSON simply means. JavaScript object notation. So this JavaScript object notation basically is just the way data is being presented. In short, the better way to present data, or better way to transport data. You know that before, the reason why we are even having all this protocol, the reason why we are having protocols, we are having port numbers. These are the ways in which what are they calling it? The internet communicate, right? Services. This way they communicate. So now when you want to transfer data, especially between your clients and and your server, right? When you want to transfer it, there must be a pre-agreed format, right? They must agree on the same format. So the most common format that is widely used is the JSON format. We still have other formats. Those are not important. What is most important is JSON format. So mostly you are going to be using the JSON format. So this JSON format, don't worry, we are going to see it in display. So if you are familiar with Python, you are familiar with other programming language. So in Python, it's just like your dictionary, right? Just like your dictionary. Whereas in JavaScript and in some of other programming language, it's like your object. When you are creating object, that's how your JSON look like, right? So that's how. So this is the format, that is the format, let me call it the format in which your client and your server communicate. So the way they send data, and once they send that data in that format, they will understand it. You understand? So that's what that JSON simply means. So we are going to be passing add middleware to pass incoming JSON requests, right? So we use this to pass our incoming JSON request. So we are going to be using this our express. Don't forget that we create an instance of our express and we save it in this app called we save it in this variable called app. So we just use this app now. So we call it const, right? App. dot, no, not const now, we call app. So it's just like say we are calling express because we have already saved this express in this app. So we call what? App dot. So we have a lot of method here. We have a lot of method here. So one of that method is dot use. So I will call dot use. So we have what? Dot use. So we are using express, right? Dot what? Dot JSON. Can you see that? Calling what? Express dot what? Dot JSON. App dot use what? Express dot JSON. So we have added our what? Our middleware, right? So the next is to what? Okay, for that being, so instead of even going down deep, so let me run our server that we can see what we have running now. So even before I use this app.use, so we have already have our day. So let me create a server, a simple server. So I have app. So let me create a get first, app.get. So my route will be what? Home page. So let me put it on the home page. So I will just create something here, request. So first of all, I'm calling request, then response, right? So you can call it rec, that is RQ and RES, but I like calling it full, request and what? And response. So I will create an arrow function. You should be familiar with JavaScript already, so you should know what is arrow function. So I will just say, okay, arrow function. So I will say that response dot send, right? So I just want to send a simple message, hello to do app API. So once we go to to this part slash, which is our home page, want to send hello to do app. So let me just save that and let me set my server app.listing. So I want to listing, right? So I will set my app.listing, create an arrow function, right? Sorry, let me create an arrow function here. So console. So here will be my port. So let me put my port. So this port that I created, so I want to listen on this port. So I will put my port here. Let me just put that there. Then I have my arrow function. We say console.log. I just want to console a simple message.log. So I say server is, so let me create a stringlet try here. So I just press my the key backtick, right? Just press your backtick, the key under your escape key, right? Key under escape key. So we give it this this backtick. This is not quotation, this is backtick, right? So I want to use a sling rate error here. So I say server is running on port, right? So which port? So I will put $sign to include variable here. So I will say port. You should be familiar with JavaScript already, so you should know what I'm doing here. So that's that for that. So that's just the syntax. So we have this listing. So this listing is specifically to our express. So just do app.listing, and don't forget we initialize our app here, app.listing. It will receive two parameter. The first one is the port, the second one is an arrow function, and this arrow function is is optional, but this port is compulsory. Likewise our app.get, so this is a method, our get method, which I discussed initially. So I just want to run this for now, so I will explain it better later. So I just get this get, and this is my route, which is the home route, right? The home route. And I just want to send a simple message response, right? So what does this mean is that once my user posts a get request, once my user run a get request, which is what they are requesting this home route, that is the home, right? If you are familiar with web, you should know what this / is. So if I should just let me put /API, right? API, right? So that means if my user should go localhost my port number /API, I want to send them hello to do app API, right? But if I should remove that, that means on the on the home page, right? That is the first page. But let me use API. API is more practical, so I will use /API, right? So I want to send them hello to do app. So once my user requests this page /API, I want to send them response It's just like what I explained on that, what are they calling it, on that YouTube. So once I type YouTube, can you see that once I type youtube.com, right, once I hit it, I want to send, once I hit this route, so this is what we call route, right, that is this URL. Once I hit it, I want to present, you can see that they are presenting on this page. So on this my own, once I hit slash, so once I hit something like this, let me show you on the browser. So I will hit something like this, localhost, right, then my port number 8080. Can you see that once I hit 8080 slash API, so can you see this route? So this route is just similar to this route. So once I hit this route, I'm being presented with this, what, with these images, videos, and everything that I'm seeing, right? So on my own, if I should hit this route, I want to send them what, this hello to do app API. So let me send that. Let me hit, let me click on it. So okay, it said this site cannot be reached. Good, I'm not running my server. Okay, right, so I've not run my server. So let me save that and open my what, my terminal. You can Ctrl J to open your terminal, or better still, you can just click on this three dot on top here. Can you see my cursor on that three dot? Click on it, click on terminal, click on new terminal, right? Or you can just click Ctrl J to bring out your what, your terminal. As simple as that. So I want to run what, my server. My server is not running, so that's why I'm having this. I'm having site can't be reached, error, connection refused. So my server is not running. So how do I run my server? So I've already set my server, right? I've already set everything, so everything is fine here. So I will just say, I will call what, node, right? I'm running node server dot what, this file name. Can you see that, that file name? I will call the server.js. Can you see that? And click enter. Can you see it said server is running on what, on port 8080. So my server is what, is running on port 8080. That means everything is fine. So if I should hit on this, can you see that I have hello to do app API? Can you see that? So once I hit on this route, I have this. So let me say, let me give you another route again. So I want to say, okay, once I go to app.get, so I want to get the get request. So I want to put the route. So I want to say, once I go to app slash API slash add, right, slash add. So I will get my what, my request, right? So my request, comma, response, right? So this will be what, an arrow function. If you know what an arrow function is. So I want to say response dot send, right, on send. So once I hit that route, what do I want to send? I want to send add new to do item, right, slash add to do item. So once I hit that route, I want to start that. So I will stop my server and rerun my server again. So anytime I make change, I have to stop my server and run it again. So once I go to slash add, so can you see that now I have add new to do item? Can you see that? Add new to do what, item. So it's just as easy as what, saying if I should go slash what, let's say slash what, let's say shorts. Let me see if there's anything like that. So once I click on slash short, it should take me to what, to this short. Can you see this now? It takes me to what, to this page. So that's basically what those routes are, right? That's basically what I do. As you can see, I go to slash API slash what, add. This is it here. I specify it here, slash API slash add. It takes me to what, to add new what, to do item. Likewise, if I should go to what, slash API, it will tell me that what, hello to do what, API. So if I should go there, let me hit there and you see it. Can you see that it says what, hello to do what, API. So basically that's how the this thing works, right? So let me stop my server for now. So I will clear this. I will stop my server, Ctrl J to close this, right? So that's that for that. So now let's continue what, building our app. So I will remove this this for now, right? I will remove that for now, and I have app.get slash what, slash API, right? So I have this, so that's good. So now let's continue. So I will bring back my what, my middleware, right? My middleware, which was what, app.use, right? App.use. So under this dot we have what, express.what.json, express.json, right? So that's my middleware, express.json. Stop. Okay, Control S, save. Can you see that? So that's my express.json. This is my what, my middle. Let me write a middle let me comment this out. My middle wear, right? I think I should join it. My middle wear, so that's it, right? So that's good. So now what's next on our list? So we have created this. So what next? You said set up what? Step 5. Okay, we are on step 5 already. So you should say what? Create an array to store what? To do. So good. So now this is what? This is a local storage that we are creating. So I don't want this thing too big. I don't want the cost to be too that big, right? And we are not specified to use a database, because you know everything that you are going to do, you have to what? You have to save it. So we are going to be using an array as our what? As our storage, right? We just use it as storage, but in an advanced project you have to use your database, right? So for now we are going to use what? So I will do let, right? I will use let to do's, right? To do's. So depending on anything you want to name it, you can name it, but I will use what? To do's. So for this to do's, I'm going to put what? I'm going to put a what? An empty array, right? So this is what? An array. So I can as well, inside my array I can put what? This array will take what? Object, right? So object. So my object, I'm going to have my first object, let me say title. My first object is going to be the what? The title, right? Title. Or no, let's say our first object will be the ID. So ID first, ID, right? So I will say ID, this should be ID 1, then comma, the next object it should take is title, right? One, take title, and let me give this a title of let's say first this thing should be take a walk, or let's say visit the gym, visit the gym. So I want to go to the gym, so that's the title, visit the gym. Then, or better, we can put this as description, right? We can change this to description, but title is okay, visit the gym. And secondly is completed, right? Completed. We want to check if that task is completed. So if this task is completed, so I'm going to take this to be what? To false, because once we add it, it's not what? Completed. So put that. So I can duplicate this. So let me duplicate this. So I will copy this. So I will just put comma here, comma, and paste it and save. So I have this. So I will change this ID what? ID 2. Title will be what? Bake some cake, right? Completed will also be false. So this is our what? Our to do's ones. So this is to do, our to do list, right? To do, we have what? 1 is what? It has ID 1, title what? Visit the gym, completed is false, ID 2, title. So that's that. So once we save this, so what do we want to do now? So I want it to be that once we want to what? We want to display our what? Our to do's. Once our user hits what? Our route, right? Once our user hits this home route /API, right? /API, I want them to what? To display this information. So what do? We say /API request response. Now we change this for response.send. So instead of this to be response.send, we are going to what? Say response.json, right? JSON. So we are passing this to what? To JSON, right? We are passing this to what? To JSON. So we say response.json, right? Then we open what? We open we close what? Our JSON, right? So this will be what? A JSON. So we are passing it to what? To JSON. So now what are we passing? We are passing this to do's. So we put this to do's here. I put to do's, right? So I will click on what? On save. So once I click on save, I will what? I will start my what? My server. So let me Ctrl J to bring this up and do load. So let me start my server, and if I should go to my home route, where is my API? So if I should run this, you can see that I have what? I have my files. I have my API what? I have my to-dos. So the first to do is what are they calling it? ID. The first to do has ID 1, and the second to do has what? Title, which is what? Visit the gym, and the completed is false. And as well ID 2, title is what? Bake some cake, and completed is what? Is false. We can also use our what? Our postman right? Currently we are using our what, our web. And don't forget, I told you that what, our web browser can what, can only process get requests. It can't process what, we can't use it to test post. We can only use our browser to test get requests, right? So let me simulate it here as well. So it's going to be get. So let me copy the URL. So let me copy this URL. So I'm going to paste this. So I'm going to click on what, on send. So everything is fine. So you can see it now. We see have what, the same what, the same response. So this is our request. We send this request, and this is the server response. I believe you are getting everything now. So this is the server response. So once we get, look at how we specify it here. Once this is it here, we said we already have our to-dos. We have saved it in what, in an object. We have our object to do save in what, in an array. So we get this right. We say dot get. This method is what, dot get. So this dot get method is this dot get. We say once we go to our slash API, what do we want to do? We want to what, access what, we want to send what, JSON. We want to pass this data to be what, JSON. We send it to what, this JSON. We pass this to dos, right? This to dos, we pass it to what, to JSON, and we send it to what, to our what, our users. So once our user requests this API, we are what, can you see that? Let me go back to that place. Once our user requests this part, which is slash API, we are responding with what, JSON, with to dos, but we are formatting it in what, in JSON. I believe you understand. So this is very, very well simple, very, very well simple, right? If you understand, it's very, very easy and what, and simple. So let me just close this my terminal. So that's the first what, the first method, which is what, our why are they calling it, our get method, right? So that's our what, our first method, which is what, the get method. So we are going to what, we are going to move to the what, to the next method, which is the what are they calling it, the put method as well, right? Not the put, now the post, right? The post method, which is what, the second method. And that post method is for putting data, right? We can only see now we are getting the data, that is, we are requesting for the data. So the next method, which is what, the put method, we are going to use it to be able to what, to add new what, new. Currently now we are only adding it. What we can view currently is what we added, right? We hard coded this is what we call hard coded, right? But we want our what, our user to do what, to put it by themselves, right? This one now is for the developer. What I'm doing here, I added this myself, is for the developer. So if we want, once our user goes slash add, right, once our user go to slash add, they should be able to what, to add what, a new to do. So once they go to slash add, let them add what, slash API slash what, add, they will be able to add what, a new post, right? So currently they say what, cannot get API. So that because we are what, so if I should go slash get, let me go slash, don't forget we are going to change that word to a post what, request, right? So if we should hit this route, our user should be able to what, to post. Currently that is not what found. So once we get to what, to that section, our user should be able to add. So let's see how we can do that. So let me go back to my to-do list. So we have initiated about what to do, we have added some data. So the next one is creating our API endpoint, our API endpoint. So we have created what, the first one is what, get API endpoint. So this is what we have already created, the get API endpoint. And what does this endpoint does? It's able to what, to list all the tasks. So respond with the current list of to do as what, as JSON. So that's what you should do. So get the what, the get API what, endpoint. This is it here, get app.get. So and it should do what, it should respond with the current list of what to do. So the next one is what, post API endpoint. And this post API endpoint is to do what, add tags. This first one is to view tags, which is here. So let me go back to the web to slash API. Okay, it's already down. So okay, it's still up and running. So once we go there, you should view it. So if I should go to my code, let me go back to my code. And if I should what, if I should clear this, no need to clear that, you already seen that now. So if I should what, so it's viewing me. So once I go here, I'm what, viewing all the tags, all the to do, not tags, to do. Yes, to do. Good. All right, to view all the what to do, right? To do tags, view all tags. Is it tags? Yes, it's tags now. Yes, it's tags. So I want to what? Once I go to /add, I want to be able to add what? I want to be able to add tags. So let's see. So we said destructure the title from the request body. Okay, first of all, now don't forget what we want to be able to do is that we want to what? To be able to add the title, right? Now this ID, we want to look for a way instead of us to be adding this ID, because as we are adding this ID manually, there is probability of us mistaking and giving in a what? A pre-existing ID to a new what? To a new what? Post. For example, I might not know that I've created a post with the ID of 65, and when I want to create a post, just imagine we have 10 users, right? We have 10 users that are creating post that is using our web, our application, and user 1 creates post with ID 10, user 2 create post with ID 10. You can see that way it will conflict and they are going to have error. So in order to fix that error, because we want our ID to be unique, in order for us to fix that error, right? In order for us to fix that error, we want to generate our ID dynamically, right? We want to generate our ID dynamically. We want to be able to generate it itself, right? So we are going to see how we do that. Then the title, they should be able to add the title themselves. And as well, this completed, you know that when tags is added initially, normally by default it should be what? False, right? By default it should be false. So what they should be able to just add is what? Title. So they add title on their own. Then the completed is what? Is false, and this ID will be what? Added dynamically, that automatically the system, that is our system, will be able to, our server will assign this ID so that it can be unique. It will generate it anytime a user create post, it will generate it, right? So let's see how we'll be able to what? To do that. So the first thing that we are going to do is what? So let me put this here. We said get endpoint. So this is a comment. I'm putting a comment, get endpoint to view all tags, right? So that's that. So the second one is comment here, post endpoint to add a new tags, right? To add a new tag. So this is the tags. So this is our, let me comment this, this is our what? Server. So this is our server. Okay, server listener. So let me put it server listener, right? So let's create this. So we have what? Our app dot, now we are going to use the word post method, right? Dot post method. So the first thing that is going to take is the what? Is the route, right? The route, that is the URL, and that route will be /API/add, right? So once you go to that place, what do you want to do? You want to read the response, right? First of all, the request, right, comma response, right? So this is what? An arrow function. You should be familiar with that already, so no need to what? To be teaching you what an arrow function is, right? So first of all, want to what? Want to get the title, right? So we want our user to be able to hide the title. So we are going to destructure it const, right? So this is how we destructure it. Title, can you see that? So title, so we send this is equals to our request, right? That is the request that our user is entering, dot what? Dot body. So we destructure it, that is we are destructuring what? Our request. Now, well, remember I told you that what? Once our user is sending anything that our user is sending is what? Is a request. So any request that our user send, right, we want to what? Break it down. That's the meaning of destructuring. That this is it here. This square bracket that I put, and I put this at, I want to destructure it and remove this title from it, just the title, right? That's what I want to what? To remove, right? So, and I will save it in what? In title. So I'm destructuring what? This our request body, right? Our request body, I'm destructuring it, and I showed you initially that, can you see this? We have what? Our body here. What we want to do, we click on body, we click on raw, and this place we are entering it. So this is where we enter our request body. So whenever we enter this our request body, we want to destructure it and pick out the title, right? That's what we are doing here. We pick out the title from what? From this request dot what? Dot body, right? So we save it. So So once we pick it out, we are saving it again into what? Into the variable what? Title, using the const to save it to what? To a what? A variable. So now we want to check. So after we have done that, so let me go back again. So we destructure. So we are following this step. We destructure the title from what? From the request body. First of all, we have done that. This is it here. We have destructured it from the what? The request body. Then he said, if the title is missing, return a what? A 400 status error. So whenever our user enters what? Anything here, and the what? The title, right? The title, this is it. The title is what? Is missing. Once this title is missing, we want to run a what? A 404 page. So we are going to use the if condition to check. We want to check for this title now. In case if our user did not what? Paste the title, or they did not what? Enter the title. We want to check if what? If not title, right? We use our what? Our exclamation mark to check if not what? If not what? Title, right? Can you see that? So we are checking it. If title is not present, return. We want to return what? Response, right? We want to respond to our user. Response.status, right? We want to response or what? Dot status, and what will be that? Our 400. And this 400, I told you initially that is what? Is not found, right? Not found. That is what you are trying to access. Is not what? Is not found. So dot what? Dot JSON. So we want to. So we have what? We have sent what? This response dot what? Start to 400, but we want to format it now in what? In JSON format. So we will format it in JSON format, and the JSON format is going to take a what? Is going to take an object. So the object will be error, right? And that error will be what? What will that error be? Will be what? Page not what? Title is what is required. So we tell our user what title is required. So that's what we tell our user. Can you see that? So now let me come back again. I said app.post. So we are using the post request, and this post request allows our user to add a new task. So once we get to this route, /API, that is /localhost /our port number, then /API/add, they should what? We are processing their requests and their response. So these are parameters, request and what? And response parameter. So now from this line, we are destructuring our what? Our body. Whenever anything they typed, and I explain it here, that when whatever they typed here, we are destructuring it, and we are picking the title from it, right? We are picking that title from what? From the body, the request.body. And now we want to check if the title is really there, because the title is necessary, is very important to us. So we are checking if the title is not here, then we want to return response or what? On status code, which is what? 400. And this status code, I told you earlier, that means what? Resources or resource is not what? Is not found, right? Data is not what? Is not found. That's for the 400. And 404 means page not found, right? So 404 belongs to what? We have 401, 401, 402, 403, 404 and stuff like that. So you can check those things out. But once you see a 400 status code, be it 401, 402, 404 or 4 anything, just know that this 400 signifies that the thing that you are trying to request, your request is not what? Is not found on the server. But now we are passing it. Remember, everything that we are sending is JSON, because we are sending this now from our server. We are sending our what? We are sending this now. We are sending our response from the server, and we want our what? Our client, right? Which will be receiving the message to understand it. So that's why we are passing it. Look at here. We also pass when we send our request, our response. Now remember, the server is sending response, whereas the client, which is the user or the browser, is sending request, right? So now the response, we are sending response code from the server, but we want our what? Our client to understand it. So don't forget that we have initialized everything, that we are communicating on what? On JSON. So we are using JSON to what? To communicate, right? So we send title is what? Is required. So that's the error. So we just pass that message to them that title is what? Is required. So else, that means if we do not have this error, that is if everything goes fine, that is if there is title, so what do we want to do? We want to what? We want to create the data. So first of all, we want to check if title is not there, then we send that title is required. Else, if title is there, then what do? We create. So we create const, right? New to do's, right? Can you see that? New to what? To do's. So we want to add what? A new to what? To do, right? So we initialize this, and we say what ID. First of all, we want to create the ID. Now I told you that the ID, we want to dynamically what generate the ID, and one of the way that we can generate our ID, we can use our date, right? Our date dot now. So date, I will say ID dot what date. So this date is what is a built-in node, not ID dot date. So we have ID, right? So we do what date, right? This date is what an inbuilt what JavaScript. You are familiar with JavaScript, you should know how the date work. Dot now. So we have different method in your date what module, right? So you go and check that out. So we use what date dot now. Now what does this date dot now does is that it converts the seconds, right? Let me show you. Is there any need to show you? But let me just show you. I just like showing people things. So let me just show you this. So this is it here. So the JSON, the JavaScript what dot now, what it does that it calculates the date in seconds since what 1970. All the seconds, the time since 1st January 1970, the seconds to date, it will calculate it and return it as what as an integer, right? It will return it as what as an integer. For example, let me copy this and show you. So let me go to the browser, and let me go to the terminal. So I will just go to console. So let me say console.log, right? I want to log date dot now. So let me show you. So click on enter. Can you see that? Can you see this string that it generated? Can you see that it generated what 1749952545762? So this is the seconds, the number of seconds, right, since 1970, 1st of January 1970 till date. If I should run it again, if I should run that thing again, we have another different string. Can you see? Anytime I run it, I'm having what every seconds is regenerating what a time. Can you see that? If you should check everything that I'm generating now, you will see that what everything is different. Can you see that? So that's how I can easily this is not the best method, but this is a very good way to generate a unique ID, to generate a unique ID for a small project like this. You can see that all these figures, they are different. As I keep on generating, it will never repeat a particular number. It can never repeat a particular number, right? So that's it. So that's what your date dot now does. So it will generate a string like this for us, not string now, but an integer. So it will generate an integer like that for us. So that's that. So once we enter our date, so what will be the next thing? The next thing that I want to enter is the title. So remember that we have already destructured our title. So our title, we are getting our title from the body here. So no need to put any data. So the next one will be completed. So completed. So this completed, we are going to give it a value. We are going to assign it a default value, which will be false. So can you see that? So we assign it a default value, which is false. So I will save this. So once everything is fine from here, can you see that? Once everything is fine, we are creating this new list, this new to-dos. So once we create this new to-do, we want to create the ID. Then the title is from, this is the title. Can you see this title now that I'm calling here is this title here, right? This title here. Then we have completed. I initialize it to be false. So once I have entered this this parameter, and look at it, we have our ID, title, and completed. So these are just the basic things that we need, right? So once we enter that, you can as well add description, right? You can as well add description. But I don't want to add description, right? It's okay like this. So once you have created this new to do, what do? We want to add it. Once we have created this, right? We want to add it, we want to implement it, we want to add it dynamically to display instead of hard coding. So we want to add it to this our to-dos. This new to-dos, we want to add it to our to-dos, which we are using as as an instance of database. Don't forget, we are using these to-dos. This to-dos here, this is it here. Let to-dos. We are using it. This to-dos. We are using it as our we are improvising it, using it as our what, as our database. So that, what do we do now? We say to dos. We are calling this to dos. Now I believe you know scope, right? Scope in programming. So this is in the what, in the global scope. This to do is in the global scope, so we can access it anywhere. But variable like this new to dos is in a what, in a local scope. So you should understand, those are stuff you should already know. So I'm not going to explain that. So I will call what, to dos, which is what, which is in the global scope, dot push. So this dot push is a what, is a method. So this dot push is a what, an array method. And this dot push, what does it do? It add a new what, array to what, it add a new what, data to what, to an array. So what do we want to add? We want to do to dos dot what, push. What do we want to push to what, to this our to dos is what, new to dos. So we add our what, new to dos. So this is very simple. Seriously, JavaScript is sweet and what, and not simple though. If you are what, a beginner, if this is the first time you are seeing something like this, it will be what, it will be jogging your brain. But if you should follow a simple step like this, just as I break this down, you should know what you are doing, right? You should know what you are doing, this step. So we'll create a new to do object, add a new to do to the what, to do arrays. So this is what I'm doing. Sorry, I'm not coming back to this place again, but once I'm done, I'm going to what. So currently I'm in what, in this number 4, which is add the new to do to the to do's array. I've added that. Now the last one is respond with the newly created to do and a what, 2000 what, a 201 status code. This 201 status code means what, successful. That is, what you have done is successful. I want to respond with the newly created to do. So want to show them what we have created. So first of all, want to respond. So we are sending back a response now, right? A response dot status, right? Status, what will be that status? That status code is what, 201, which is successful. 201.json. Don't forget, this is our agreed format, right? .json. So what are we using JSON? What are we bringing? New to dos. What we just add, new to dos, right? What we just add, that is this thing that we just push. We want to display it to our user. So that's that. Can you see that? So that's it. Let me go by. Is there any other tags? No tags. We are done with the post what, post URL. So can you see that? So that's that. We are done with this what, post. So let's test our what, our post, and let's test our get as well. So first of all, we check if my server is running. I will stop my server and rerun my server again. So once I'm rerunning my server, I did not save my file. Let me save it. I did not save it. All right, so let me check if this thing is recording. Yeah, it's recording. So what am I saying? Okay, so let me start my server. So I will start my server. So my server is what, is running now. So I will go now. Remember I told you that what, let me close this tab, close this YouTube, close download history, Node.js. I'm done with Node.js now. I'm no longer using Node.js architecture, no longer. So now remember I told you that we can only test our get request, right, to fetch data. We can't if we should go /add now, /add, I don't think we are not going to see anything. Why? Because this is not a get request. This is a what, a post request, and our browser cannot process post request, right? Our browser cannot process post request. It can only process get request. So that's why we need what, a software like Postman, right? With the help of Postman, we'll be able to what, to send a post request, right? So let's see how we can send a post request. First of all, I'm going to use what, a get request. So I want to go to what, to the URL, the home URL, which is what, /API. This is our what, this is the what, protocol, which is HTTP. Currently we are using HTTP. We don't mind, this is a local host, so security is not concerned. This is only available on your PC. This thing that you are doing is only available, it's not in the internet. So when you send your code to the internet or you host your application, that's where you will be more concerned about what, using HTTPS over HTTP. But currently we are on local host. Nobody aside you can access this, right? It's only available to you on your local host. So now we have what, our local host colon, our port number 8080 / what, API, right? So basically your URL, right? Your URL on your what that we are typing, like for example youtube.com and everything. This is how they look like. This is how they look like. But we have what we call DNS, domain name system. Now what does that domain name system do is that it transfers, it gives you a suitable domain name, right? It converts your IP address. So I can also use my IP address instead of localhost. I can use my IP address. What is my home IP address? 127 right, .0.1. So I can still use is it .0.1 I think. So I can still use this. So let me show you. 127, yeah, can you see that? So this is my local host. So this is my IP address, my local host IP address, and this is my port number. So if I should use /API and enter, I will have the same data just as I'm using localhost. Can you see that? So this is my IP address. Now you can see here is converted to a suitable node localhost, whereas here is API. Sorry, what is API? Not API. IP address. What is the meaning of IP address? Internet protocol, right? IP address is internet protocol. Now this IP address is just basically your address. It's just like your address, the address to your computer. If I want to access a request to his computer, if I want to access resources from a computer, I have to use the IP address. The IP address is just like your home address, right? An example, not as if it's your home address. So that's it. So the IP address for this my local computer now is 127.0. I think, let me check the IP address for IP address for Google. No, for YouTube. Let me check YouTube. So YouTube IP address. So let it give me YouTube IP address if it's visible. So let me see. Okay, they did not give me the IP address. YouTube. Good. This is the IP address. Let me try if I will use this. Let me see if one of these will work. So they have a lot of IP address. In case that means they have a lot of servers, right? They have a lot of server and they have this thing. So yeah, go and remember your network, So let me see if this will work. Okay, it's not working. So basically this is how youtube.com look like, right? So it's your DNS that will convert it to a suitable name. So basically you have your request / your IP, internet protocol / your port number, right? The port number that current service is running on. Like this one now is running on on port 19. Let me try it and see. Let me try this and see if it will work. This is not even port 19/19, so it's not working. So once you run your, what are they calling it, networking, you should understand IP address, DNS, domain name system and stuff like that. You understand? So it's good. So I can still use this route, right? This is my local distance, so I can send. So but before I send, don't forget, okay, let me use get. So I'm sending get first. So let me get my data. My server is not running. Can you see that? Can you see that error? Can you see that error? Okay, server is not running. Is it running? Let me go and check if my server is running. My server is running cool and well. So it's telling me that it can't access that. Let me see. Let me copy this from here. Why can't you access that? Are you crazy or what? Good, he access it. So 200, that means I made error somewhere, right? Can you see that? You have code 2000, not 2000, 200, yeah. So we have everything that we had initially, right? What we initialize on our on our database. This is the two value that we initialize on our on our database. So but that's not what we want to test. We have already tested it initially. So the next thing that I want to test is the post request. So I will put my URL. So what is my URL? My URL is my /API / add. This is it here. /API / add. So we are going to that route. API / add. So once I hit this API, once I hit this route, right? Once I send a request, what do I want to do? But before I send the request, I need my body. So click on body raw. So I need my body, right? My title rather. So I'm going to create an object, right? An object. So what will be inside that object? My title. And what will that title be? It will be the title. So I can say my what? So I have let me check what I have here. I have visit the gym, bake some cake. So let me do some washing, right? I want to do some washing. So I will say task 3, right? Do some washing. So I will do some washing. Do some what? This is not some. Can I spell? Yes, I can spell. So I will do what? Do some washing. So let me send this. I think everything is fine. Let me send. Good. We have what? 201 created. Can you see that? Success. Right, that's good. We have success. So can you see? So from what we did here, we said that what, it should return this what? Once it what? It pushes it. We want it to what? To return. This is it here. It's returning it for us. So that's why we are having what? That's why we are having this what? Data. So it's returning it for what? For us. So that's it. It has returning it for us. So if we should preview, we have what? The ID. Can you see this ID now? This ID is automatically generated, and we have what? The title, which is what? Task 3. Do some washing. And we have what? Completed is what? Is false. So now let's go to our get. So currently we have just these 2 posts. Can you see that we have these 2 posts? So if I should send again, like refreshing, now we have our 3rd post. Can you see that? We have task 3. Do some what? Washing. So we have ID. This is the ID, and we have our ID 1, ID 2. Then we have this ID that was automatically generated for us by our server, and we also have this title, and we have completed this what? Is false. So you can see our what? Our post request. We can still post as much as we want. So I will post another one, which is what? Task 4. Let me post task 4. I will just edit this to task 4. I want to do what? Do some okay, I want to do play. I want to play video game. So I will send it, and it's fine. Everything. Can you see that? Task 4, play video game. So let me go to my get, and let me send again to see. As you can see, we have what? Our 4th task, and you can see the ID is unique. This one end with what? You can see the last digit, right? They are unique. They are different. So we have task 4, play what? Video game, and the completed is what? Is 4. So let me go to my browser and see. Remember, we can get that. So once I refresh, we can see our what? Our 4 posts. We have post 1, post 2, post 3, post 4. So this is how we can use our what? Our post. And don't forget, it's no longer what? If you should check here, you will not see it too. This is just the 2 that you are seeing here, right? This is what is temporary what? Created. This is from what? The client side, right? Our client side. Whereas this is what? Hard coded. So one thing you should know is that once we stop our server, right? Once we refresh or we will rerun our server, all these posts will be lost. All these things that we added will be lost, right? So we don't have any server we don't have any storage. But if you want to work more on it, you want to advance this code, you can integrate database, and even when your server is down and is up again, you can be able to get your file. For now, what we can only get is when we restart our server, is just these 2 posts that we had coded, that we will always get, right? All this one that we have added, once we stop our server and rerun our server again, we are going to lose these posts that we have created. So that's that. So this is just basically testing your API. So this is how you can create API. And most web application that you see on the internet, right? Most web application, this is how they build them, using APIs, right? And I believe you already know what an API is. An API is an application programming interface. So what this application programming interface does is that it allows us, now remember, we have different web application these days. We have our website, right? Website runs on your browser, right? Website. And we also have web application. Basically, web application, they also run on browser. Then we have what we call desktop application. Desktop application run on desktop. And we also have what we call mobile application. Mobile application run on mobile phones. So assuming you want to create what? Assuming now we are creating, let's say we are creating what? An application. You have a company, right? You have a company, and let's say what your company does is, just for example, this to-do list, right? And now you want to create a web version. You want to create a website that showcase your product. right? Let's assume that we are creating now. Let me use an example of what? Of Jumia, right? Jumia, right? You know, Jumia, right, is a shopping platform, right? This Jumia, they have their what? Their web application. This is their web application, their website. So basically, web application is an application that works like a website, right? Web application is just like an application that works like a what? A website, right? So this website is what? This website, this platform I'm currently now is a website. It runs on what? On the web. That is not on the web, on browser, right? So web application runs on what? On browser, right? So they also have mobile application, right? And that mobile application is a mobile app that you can install on your phone. Now just imagine that you have a website and you want to create a mobile app. Will you have to redesign your mobile app again, both the backend and everything? No. With the help of API, you don't need to redesign everything, right? You don't need to redesign everything. So what you can just do is that you will build your your backend, right? You build your your backend API. You just build your backend API. And as soon as you build your backend API, you are going to create your client, which is either your browser or your mobile app. You just create them and connect your backend or your API to it. So the same API will be running on your website, and also that same API will be running on the application level. And if you want to get desktop, you can use it, and different version you can use, and other application as well. Other people can still use your APIs as well. For example, I think what are they calling Amazon has their API, and what does Amazon API does is that it allows you to add Amazon products to your store. So instead of you to, for example, now you have a store and you want to sell Amazon product, you can easily use Amazon API, right, to run to add their products to your website, right? So let me see Amazon. Let me check if I can see it. I think they have their API, and as well a lot of application also has their API as well, right? This is it here. Choose between REST API and HTTP APIs. So most applications these days, they have their APIs. So that API will help you to create dynamic to create using one backend to serve a lot of purposes. You can use one backend to serve a lot of purposes. So this is how big organization create their APIs, right? But just that their own is more advanced than ours, right? Their own is more advanced, and they use all this method. They have the get, post, put, patch, delete, head options. So the most basic ones, the most important one are the get, and this get is to view, post is to add, put is to update, and delete is to delete, right? So we have created two so far. We have created our get, we have created our post, and the final one will be sorry, not the final one though. So we are going to the next one, which is the update. So we update. So I will call it what should I call it now? The put, right? Put, yes. So let's say put. What did I name the previous one? Let me close this. Control J. So let me close that. So we have our put or update comment, update end point. Can you see that updated point to what? Okay, let me put put end points to what? To update a tax, right? So we are putting our puts, we are using put endpoint to update a tag. So we call our app dot put. So that is the method. So what will be the route? So the route will be /API /update. Can you see that? So once we go /API /update, we want to update. So what do we process? We put our request, comma, our response. So we create an arrow function. And you see that we create an arrow function. So that being said, so what do we want to do now? Now there is an important stuff. So now if we want to update for example, what should I use as an example? If we want to update a specific what, a specific post, right? Want to not post now, want to update a specific what, a specific tax. So how do we achieve that? First of all, we will need a distinct or a unique item to use to what, update that specific tax. For example, I want to update tax 1. I want to update this first tax. What will I use? And I told you that initially that when we want to what, if we want to what, get a unique property, how do we get it? Using the what, the ID, right? We have added an ID which will give it a unique character. That means if I want to add, if I want to get this specific post, this post 3, if I want to get it, the only way I can use to get it is by using what, the ID, because this ID is what differentiates it from what, other posts, right? My title I can have the same title for everything, there will not be issue. I can have completed, you can see here is false, here is false, here is false, here is false, there is no issue. But my ID is unique, so it differentiates my post from each other. So if I want to update a specific post, the only way I can get that specific post is by using its what, its ID. So that means if I want to update, if I want to what, update a specific post, how will that post be? Let me close these tabs. So how will the route be? The route will now be what, my localhost, right, /API /what, update, which I added here, /update, right, the route update. So once we are updating, we need what, /what, the ID, right, that specific what, ID of what, of the post. So for example, ID 1, we are going to have what, 1 here, right? So once we hit on it, we should have what, this specific what, this specific post. So let me show you. So let me show you here. So let me show you something. So I'm going to put something like this. I'm going to put at this particular place, I'm going to put / right, column ID. So now what does this column ID mean? This column ID is what we call params. Params is the short form for what, parameters. So params means what we give to our what, our URL. So this is where we are putting our what, ID. This column ID is what, params. So for us to be able to tell our ID to what, to give us what, this particular what, the particular ID that we are specifying, it should fetch the product for us. So we are going to tell our what, our code. Let me come down here. We are going to tell our code. We are going to what, say const. We are going to save our ID now. Our ID is equals to pass. So we are passing it, right? That is like we are converting it to what, an integer, because remember our ID is what, is an integer. Let me go back to there. You can see that our ID is what, is integer, right? So we are passing it to what, to int, pass int, right? Pass int. So what are we getting? So this ID that we put here, this ID, column ID, we are passing it to what, integer. So that is what are we passing? Is what, our request. So it's our request dot params. Can you see that, dot params dot ID? So this ID that we specify, that's it. Params, parameters dot what, dot ID. That is, this params will go to what, to this URL and check anything it sees with column here, it will fetch that thing out. For example, if I should put hyphen, let's say hyphen what, number, so this will be what, dot number here. This will be what, dot number, this thing that is here. So this params is for what, this column. So dot params dot what, anything I specify here. So let me change it and put what, ID. I will remove that number and put what, ID here, ID. So I will put what, ID here as well, dot what, ID, right? Can you see that? So I will save that. So if I should save that, I will just say what, let's say what, let me return what, a response, right? I will say response. So let me what, send what, the response now. I will send what, a response dot what, let me say response dot JSON, right? So let me put, if I should put what, let me put this and put what, our ID here. Let me see if this will work. So let me just save it, right? So if I should hit that, is my server running? Let me check my server. So I have to sub my server and run it again to get the latest update. So we go here. So once I hit here, let me see. worker/API/update. So I'm not having anything, so I want it to give me response. So let me put response dot send. Okay, let me say response dot send. So I want to send ID. So let me check this. So holy shit, let me see. Okay, slash update. Okay, /1, not I1. Holy shit, /1. Oh, so I'm not having it. I wanted to check if I can get, I want to send response or send ID. I want to send back this ID. So I'm not having it. So let me just continue. Let me go back to my to do. Let me go back to my checklist. Right. So under my put API, pass the to do API from the URL parameter. So I'm passing it here. So this is it here. So I've passed it. So I've passed my ID. So it says the structure title and completed. The structure title and completed from the request body. Okay, I did this structure the title and the word completed from the body. So I'm destructuring the title now. So let me destructure it. So I will say const title, right, comma body, not body now, completed. So what we want to update is title and what and completed. So we do what request, sorry, Control Z, request dot what dot body. So we are destructuring it from what request dot body, our title and our what and our how they calling it, our title and what completed. So we are destructuring it, right? So we have destructured it. Say find the to do with the what with the matching ID. So we want to find we want to check what is here, what we want to check. We want to check these to do's, right? We want to go inside there and check the one that we have specified the ID. And for us to do that, we say const to do, right? So this will be equals to do's. Now don't forget this to do's is from all these to do's that we are calling is what is this our what our let me comment this at our what instance, let's say storage. So this is our storage, right? Storage. So that's our storage. So that's our to do. So that's what we are calling here. So we are creating a new word variable. We are saving what want to what you say we should check for what we should find the to do with the matching ID, that is the ID that we have specified in our URL. Want to check, so we are checking our to do dot what want to find. So we still have another method in array, which is what dot find. So if you just put dots, you will see a lot of what these to do's is what is an array. So once you put dot, you will see a lot of what method. We have add, concat, copy within, entries, every, fill, filter, find index, flat map, for each, include, index of. So there are a lot of what method, but we want to use what dot find. And what does this dot find does is that it finds a particular what are they calling it, parameter, right? It takes what a particular what parameter. So it said find predicates. Can you see find predicate, value, ID, number, title. So it will find what specific was something, right? And it also takes an arrow function, right? So now let's take it. So we want to find what let me write this code. So once I'm done writing it, I'm going to explain it to you. So I put it this way. So let me see, t dot id, right? Am I doing this right? Is equals to, so I want to check if it's equals to id. So now what am I trying to do? So now I said this line, we are using this line to check for what for the id, right? The id that we are picking from here. We want to check if that id, so we are taking an instance, right, of what, of this t, right? So it's what is what this particular place is what, an arrow function. I believe you already know what an arrow what function does, right? So it checks for what, it checks for what, for the id property, right? It's checking it for each to do. So we are saving a parameter here. So this is a parameter. You understand your normal function, how your normal function has a parameter. So it's taking it, is taking what, is just taking as parameter, and it's checking what, this t. So we are putting this instance, so we put t as instance and we are checking it. So anything we put here which is t, then we take what, all these ids, right? So that t dot id, so we save this t as what, as parameter, right? We save it as parameter. So this t dot what, dot id, right, dot id, we can save this as anything. Let's say we save this to what, to do, to the reason why we put, okay, let me change it to title. No, is it not title? We change it to t what, to do what, to do, let's say underscore id, right? Can you see that? So we will change it to this like that as well. So to do what, to do's underscore id, right? So anything you put here, it should be what, it should be here. So this is a what, a parameter. So what does this parameter does? It's taking the instance, right, of what, of these to do's, and the instance that we are checking is what, is the id. So we are checking to do's id dot what, dot id. So these to do's, can you see this? Let me show you this to do's here, right? This id, that is what each of these instance is taking. I want to compare if any of that what, any of this what parameter, if any of this id is equal to the id that we are specifying, right? We are checking if that id from what, from our storage is equal to the one that we have specified, right? So that's what we are checking. We are checking if it's what, if it's equals to what, any of the one that we specify. So now there we go. Want to check if, right, not, right? So once we check, if it finds it, right, anyone that we specify, if it's equals to this, we are going to save it to this to do's. So we want to check if what we specify is not in this place. So if you can't find the id that we specify, so we want to check if not what to do. Don't forget, this to do now is this what, this variable that we just created here. And what does this variable does is that this variable, it stores what, anything that we find. So this id here now, right, is this id that is here, this constant id here, this is it here. Now this to do's, right, can you see this to do's id is the id in our storage, the id in this our storage. So what does it do is that we go into this to do's. Remember that this to do's is an array that contains what, objects. So we use find to find our object, right, and we take this to do's id as what, as a parameter to our arrow function, right? So this parameter now, we are checking to do's, which is to do's id, which are dot id, we are checking for which id, which dot id is equals to what, id which we specify. So if it's equals to this, right, if we can find that id, we save it to do in this variable, which is what to do. So if, but for example, if this to do is empty, if it's undefined, so that's what we want to check. If not to do, that is, if not to do, that is what is undefined, what do you want to return? We want to return what? We want to return what? A 404. That is, we can't find the response dot what? Dot status, right? So what will be that status is what? 404 not found, 404. So we can't find it. So we sending the message in what? In JSON, right? JSON, and we are sending what? A what? What are they calling it? An object, which is our error, and that error will be what? To do not found, right? So to do not found, as simple as that. Can you see that? Sorry, excuse me. So that's it. So we said that what, our to do is not what, is not found. So I believe you understand this. This is just logic, right? So we said if the to do is not found, respond with a what, a 404. Simple. Find the to do with the matching id. Can you see that? That's what we did here. We are finding the to do with this what, with the matching id, the id that we specify. We are checking our to do's to check for the id. And what happened if the to do is not found? Respond with what, with a 404 error. So else, so if we find it here, So if this is not found, we are returning this. But if we found, we want to update what the title if provided. So we update the title if provided. We update the completed status if what, if what provided as well. So let's go and do that. So we want to update. Here is number 5. Now we want to update title if what provided. So let's go. Let's see how we are going to do that. So we want to check if title, right? So we put if title is not what, it's not equals to what, unknown. It's not equals to what, undefined. Now undefined, that is if our title is not what, it's not empty. So what do we want to do? Want to say to do, we can, let's say, let me put this here. So we say what, to do. So we can as well put this square bracket, but we can still leave it that way. So we can just cut this. I like to format my code very well. I like formatting my code. So let me put this here. I'll save that. So that is okay. I think that's fine. It's fine. So we put this here. So I like my code to be formatted very well. So if what to do is what is undefined, what do we do? So it's not equals to undefined. That is, if our title is not empty, which is not undefined, I want to say to do, right? The title is equals to what? Title, right? Is equals to title. Save that. And we want to check again if our what, if our, what are they calling it, if completed is not equals to what, undefined as well. If it's not empty, undefined, right? What do we want to do? We want to do what? We want to return to do dot completed is equals to what? Completed. Can you see that? As simple as what? As simple as that. And what will be the what? The last process. Let me see. The last process will now be what? Want to respond. Want to send back what? Our response. So we say response dot JSON. And what do we respond with the to do? As simple as that. Now don't forget our to do. This to do we are using is what? This to do, the ID that we saved here. So I think everything is fine. So everything is fine. If you don't understand anything, you can meet me, you can message me. I will be able to explain better. But if you don't understand anything, just pause the video, watch it and watch it again. This video is getting long. How many hours now? Almost 3 hours. And I never wish for this video to be this long. Seriously, 2 hours already. I never wish for this video to be this long. Seriously. But anyway, we guys do what we want to do. So I want to run my server again and check if there is any error. No error. Let me check my post first. I will send this. Don't forget, I told you that whenever we refresh, what happens? Our data will what? We go. So we have refreshed our server. So we only have these 2 posts. So we start again. So we are going to post tax what? Tax 3. So play video game. I will send this. Good. Tax 4. Don't forget we are on our post. Tax 4. Do some washing. No, let me say go for lectures. So I want to go for lectures. So I will add this. So that's good. So let me go back to my get send. So I have what? I have my post. I have post 1, post 2, post 3. Post 3 is what? Tax 3 is what? Play video game. Tax 4 is what? Go for lectures. So now let's go and test our what? Our what? Put. Yeah, our put is for updating. And what is the route? Our route is what? /API /update. So that's our route. So don't forget we do what? Slash our IP, not IP. ID. Good. So what do we want to update? We want to update. Let's say we want to. This is our ID. Let me put ID 1. Right. I want to update. This is put, not post. So ID 1. I want to put ID 1. And what do I want to go? I want to go to body. I want to go to raw. Body raw. Now the first thing I want to do is what? The title. So let me see what it was the previous title. Visit the gym. So I want to update this to the title. I want to update it to not visiting the gym, right? I'm not visiting the gym again. The initial one was what? To visit the gym. So don't forget that we have to put title here, right? And we have to put title here. So I have to put title first. So title, can you see that? Title not visit the gym, just like this. Then comma completed will be what? True. Can you see that? So title not visiting the gym. Don't forget ID 1. So I will send. Good, everything is fine. 20 what? 200. Status code 200. Everything is what? Request successful. So request was sent. Can you see that? ID what? What is our ID post? 1. Title has been updated to not visiting the gym. Completed is what? Is true. So let me go back to my get and let me send it. Now look at it. Completed is first, and the first post with the ID, the first starts with the ID 1 is what? Visit the gym. So once let me refresh, send. Now can you see it has updated? Not visiting the gym, true, and it's what is completed. And if I should go to my what? To my what are they calling it? Browser, and I update it, you can see that what? Everything is what? Is up and what? And running. So this is how sweet it is to code. I'm tired, seriously. Alright, so this is already 2 hours long. I'm really exhausted. I've not done recording like this before, seriously. I'm really tired, but anyway, let's finish. So we are going to the last one. You can see our get request is working. Our get request is, let me go to my postman. Our get request is working to view our post, our tags. Our post request is working to post a specific task. And don't forget to put the title, and just put the title for your word post. You put the title, body, raw, right? And if this is not selected, right, if this is text or JavaScript, make sure that you click on this drop down to be what? JSON. Can you see that? JSON. So we have other format. We have text, JavaScript, HTML, XML. Make sure it's JSON. This drop down, body, raw, JSON. Make sure. Good. So now, and our put is updating very well. It's used for updating. And our update, look at the route slash what? API slash update slash what? Slash 1. So that's how it works. So let's go to the last section, right? I don't want this video to reach 3 hours. So we go to the last section. Let me go back to my to-do, my checklist. So we have responded with the updated, we updated the completed status, if provided, uploaded, everything is fine. So we go to the what? The last task, which is what? Delete API endpoint, delete tags. So pass the what? So let me copy. Okay, let me go back. So I don't want to copy anything. Let me just come back here. So let me see. So we go to delete what? Let me see. Endpoint to delete a tax. Can you see that? So to delete a tax, so we have our what? Our app dot what? Delete. Can you see that? Then we have our route. So what we did, our route slash API slash delete. Can you see that? And we need what? API. We need what? ID as well to delete a specific post. Right, I believe you understand that now. Comma, then we have our what? Our parameter to be what? Request, comma, response. This is what? An arrow function. Can you see that? What am I doing? Okay, I'm on the right path. Okay, so can you see that? So what do we want to do now? First of all, we get the ID. Just like what? From what? Our what? Put. First of all, we pass the what? The ID. So that will be what? Let's go. Is this okay? That will be what? Const what? ID is equals to pass, not parent, pass int. So we have pass float, to convert to float, but we are using pass int, right? Then we have request, the what, params, the what, id, and don't forget this id is this value that we put here. Come out, is this value that we put that we place here. So if we should place anything, for example API, API, yeah, so you have to paste API here as well, right? So I will change this to id. That is more ideal. .ip, so I have to change this to what, .id. so let me go back and check. So pass the to do id from the what, URL parameter. So we are passing it. Filter out the to do with the matching id. So we have to filter out the to do. So every other to do that does not match this IP, want to filter them out, right? So let's see how we can what, we can do that. So we say to do's. Don't forget this to do's is our what, our storage. So we are filtering our storage. We want to take our storage, so don't forget to do's. This is const is equals to what, to do's dot what, filter. Wow, I'm not having filter. Let me remove this const. Let me see. Dot filter. All right, so we have dot filter. So no need to what, to initialize this again. So we already have it. We have it here. So we are just like what, reassign. So we already have it here. No need to put const. So we are not creating a new variable. We only create a new variable using what, const. So we call it to do's equals to what, to do's dot what, filter. Filter is as its name, it's filtering, right? So I will call title, right? Title what, id. No, not title, to do id. That's what we use, to do underscore id. Now this is a what, no, that's not what we do. We have to create an arrow function. Yeah, arrow function, right? So this is your arrow function. So we have here to do id. So we place this to do underscore id, right? So that's the parameter for this arrow function. So we want to check to do id dot id, just the way we did in our what, in our update, in our what, put method, right? We are updating just for what we did. Let me show you here. Can you see it here, right? We check here, right? So remember that we created a new instance of to do here. That's why we use constants here, to do. But in this case, we are not creating an instance here. Where is it? Yeah, we are not creating an instance because we are taking the what, the data, right? Let me go back. This storage, that's what we are taking, right? But in this case, we are creating in a put method here. We are what, we are creating a new instance. Let me close here. Let me close this. So we see in this put method here, we are creating to do, and we save find. Anything we find, we save it here. But in this case, we are just filtering. We are not saving, right? We are filtering everything that is here. We are filtering out anything that matches what, this id. So for now, we say to do dot id dot what, dot id, right? So anyone that is not equal to, right, it's not equals to what, id. That is this id now that we specify. Any of the posts that is not equals to id, we are filtering it out and we are saving it here. So anyone that meets that means we are removing it. Get it? We take to do's, which is our storage, and we filter out any id that is not what, matching the one that is specified. So if it's not matching the one that is specified, we are what, we are returning it back to what, to the to do's. That means the one that match, what will happen? It will be what, remove. You understand? It will be filtered out. But the one that does not match will be what, will be returned back to the what, to the to do, right? To the to do's, that is to our what, to our storage. So that's how it is. So after that, what do? We do response. So we are returning our what? Our response. So response. So once they did all those things, we have response dot what? Status. What is the status? 204, right? Status 204. So we put what? Status 204 dot what? Dot end. So that means we are not bringing out anything. We want to end the what? That particular what? That particular, let me show you. Todo app. It said respond with for to do with no what? With no content status, right? Respond with what? With a 204 with no what? No content status. So we are not printing out any content. That's why we are using what? This dot what? Dot end. So let me save. So I believe everything is going smoothly. I believe everything is fine. I pray so. So let's run our final test. So once our what? Our what are they calling it? Our delete method works. That means we are fucking okay. We are fucking good, right? So let me run it. So let's go. As usual, our post is gone. We only have 2 posts here. So so I will go back here. So let me go to my get. So I will send. So we have our 2 posts. I will go to my post. I want to add tax 3. Go to for lectures. I will test this. This is added. I go back to my post. I send again. I can see my post 3, my tax 3 here, and everything is fine. Good. Then I go to to update. I will update my tax 1. I put my ID here, and so I have tax 1 is visit the gym. So I want to update it to what? Not visiting the gym, and I want to check completed to true. I will send. So everything went where I have title code 200 and I have title not visiting the gym, and completed is true. Good. Here we have it to be false, visit the gym, but as soon as I refresh send again, what happened? It's updated. That means my updating route is working. Then the last route will be what? Let me go back to my code. What is the last route? Slash delete. Good. So the last route will be what? Slash delete. So copy this. Let me copy this. Go here. Paste this. So this will be what? Delete slash what? ID. And my ID is what? 1. So let me change this to what? To delete the method. This will be changed to delete. Then I will what? I will send. Everything went fine and good. You can see it. 204. No content. Can you see that? So if I should check, I don't have anything here in my preview. So let me go back to here. You can see we have what? ID 1. So let me send. Pooh! Everything is gone. Everything is gone. Everything is gone. So that means we are having error, because everything ought not to be gone, right? Everything is gone currently. So that means we are having error. Let me go back to my checklist. Filter out the to do with the matching ID. Okay. Filter out the to do with the matching ID. Respond with a 204, no context. Okay, let me see. To do is equals to do dot filter to do ID dot ID is not equals to this. So everything is good. Let me just see where the bug is. I just need that specific ID, and I pass const ID equals to pass int request dot params dot int dot ID rather. Okay, I think it's good. So where am I getting the error from? So let me see. Let me check. Go to my GitHub and check. Let me check what I had here. Seems I'm making some error. app.get API slash to do strong. So we have const id parent id to do's equals to do's dot filter. Here it's not equals to id response dot status dot end. I'm good now. Oh, sorry. Can you see? Let me see. Yeah, can you see this? Can you see this error? This is outside. So let me check very well if I'm doing that very correctly. Yeah, what the hell? Where the hell I got that from? I mean, holy shit! What the hell am I doing? Yeah. Okay, I'm cool, bro. I'm cool there. So what the fuck is the error? Everything is fine. Everything seems fine. Response or status 204.end. Everything is fine. So where the error is, const id equals to pass int request dot params dot id. Okay. To do's equals to do's dot filter. To do id dot id is not equals to this, and I'm good to go, bro. I'm good to go, but I'm not getting it. So let me stop my server and run it again. Everything is fine. I just need this. So let me try the get again. Let me send this. So I have this. So let me go to delete. So delete API ID 1. So everything seems fine. Holy shit. Okay, let me try it again. Maybe because I had coded that URL. So let me use another post, right? Let me use another post. I see everything seems fine. So let me use another post. So I will get again. So post. So let me post this, right? I will save this. Good. I will update this. So now everything is fine. So I'm going to resend this. So what I will just do is that this ID, let me delete this. So maybe it's because I had coded this too, that's why I'm having that issue. So I will go back to them. So instead of this ID, I will paste this and send. So everything is fine, deleted successfully. So let me go back. So let me send this again and see if I still have. Holy shit, empty. So error is still persisting. So I will just have to check. I've checked. Let me just help myself using AI. Please check my delete API route. What the hell am I doing wrong? Right? What the hell am I doing wrong? Your deliverer has a logic bug. I have a logic bug. Wow. Your delete route has a logic bug in the filter function. The filter callback must return a boolean. It must return a boolean, okay? Ooh. A boolean. Are you sure? Request per. So it says returns a new array, excluding it to do with the matching ID. So what the hell did I do wrong? Here is the corrected. What the hell did I do wrong? Let me check. So I have, it said your deleted route has a logic bug in the filter. The filter cover must return a boolean, but your code uses curly braces without a return statement, so it's always return undefined. Thank you. All right. So thank you for killing help. So live the life you will remember. From my father told me once a child, these are the nights I'll never die. My father told me so that's it. So I just use curly braces, right? So because it does not have what return statement, that means there are still some places I will, let me check if there is a place I use curly braces. Okay, here it remove it from me. Can you see here? So it removed the curly braces. I don't know why it did not remove it from me here. So maybe you just want to trick me a bit. So that's how you help yourself, right? We are in the advent of AI. So you help yourself using AI, right? So you don't kill yourself fighting for bug with your third eye, right? AI is your third eye, so it will help you, right? So it's very easy to generate code with AI, that's the truth, but hard to what? To be very difficult for you to understand what AI is doing for you, and there are a lot of bugs. And just as I told you earlier, this is not a perfect code, right? It's not a perfect code. This is just for assignment purpose. This is not a perfect code. So using of AI goes beyond just coding, right? So that's that. Thank you very much, AI. I appreciate for coming to my aid, because I'm fucking tired. I'm fucking tired. So I'm really exhausted already. So it will be very hard. It would have been difficult for me to figure out that error. So that's that. So I believe we are good to go. So my server, are you up? Ctrl J. You just press Ctrl J and you should have your terminal up and running. So I think this should be the last section. So let me go and check. So we have it, our 2 posts. So I will add this 3rd post to it. So as you can see, my ID is changing. So my put, I'm going to update this. So on my delete, this have changed already. So I'm going to put 1. So send. Everything is fine. Come back to my get. Send. So as you can see, ID1 has been removed, right? ID1 is removed. So let me run it for the last time. And explain the final. So we are done coding. So now I run my server, right? So now go back to my postman. So the first is the get, and this get method is to what? To view all tags, right? To view all the tags. So if I should refresh currently send, I have tags ID 1 and tags ID what? 2. So those are the 2 tags that I have. Holy shit, never have sys light. My system did not have what are they calling it? A lot of backup. So never just sys light. So no problem. I'm already done with the recording. So we have tags 3. Okay, we have our get, right? This is our get. So this is our post. What is wrong? Okay, post. So I will send this. So this has been sent. What is wrong? Did NEPA take my network away? It's like my network is very slow because NEPA sees light. Why? What's wrong? Holy shit. So my system is running low. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the light. I don't know. So right, so we have what? The post is working. We have posted 1 post already and we have it here. So the next one is update, right? is the update. My system is running low, it's running slow because I don't know, maybe because of the power. So update this. So I should update. So not visiting the gym, it has updated from not visiting the gym to what? It has updated from visiting the gym to what? Not visiting, but it's not reflecting until I update. Once I click on send again, you see that it will what? Update. Holy shit, my system is running low. Alright, so we have what? Not visiting the gym, everything is working. Then we have the delete. So we delete the post with what? With the ID 1. So I want to delete, so we have this post ID 1. Let's go back. My system. So we have ID 1, which is what? Not visiting the gym. So if I should click here, go back to delete, so I will click on what? Don't forget the route, right? So I have my what? My ID 1 here, so I click on it. So, and you can also test if I should put an ID that is not there, I'm going to have error. So I've sent it, it's still waiting, so it's good. Okay, 204. So assuming I put ID 1 again, just imagine I put ID 1. So let me go back to my get. So let me go back to my get and resend. So you see that the ID 1 has left because I've deleted it. So it's loading, it's loading, it's loading. Please be fast before my system will run down. So ID 2, right? Can you see that? So let me delete it again. Let me delete my ID 1. So I will delete it again and send. So initially I have 204, but now I'm going to have error because ID 1 is no longer there again. Holy shit, it's giving me. Let me send again. The system is running low. Okay. Holy shit, my system is low. So basically everything is working fine, right? Everything is working fine. You can test it very well at your end, right? Test it very well at your end, and if you have any issue, let me know. Everything is working perfectly. Everything is working for your assignment. The assignment that they gave you, these are the assignment. You just follow this video. If you can't code, if you don't want to code, just clone the GitHub, right? Just as I did it in the initial word. So let me go and even push it to GitHub. So let me push it to GitHub. Control B. So let me stop my server and push everything to GitHub. So I will share you this link, right? Control B. So this is it here. So I will just go to GitHub here. No, that's not GitHub. This GitHub. This GitHub. Right. So I will initialize this repository. So I'm coming. Let me try to put on light. Give me a few seconds. Alright, so I'm back. Just went to turn on light. My system is running very low. Alright, so let me push this to, okay, let me plug my system first of all. So let me push this to so everything is running fine, right? Everything is running fine. So everything is running fine. So let me push this to GitHub now. So this is the code. So, and you can, if you want full explanation to every code, I will send, if you want this to do. So let me see if I can. Let me copy everything here. Copy. So I will copy this to do checklist. So I will copy the checklist and create a file called, let me create a readme.md, right? So I will just paste it here. So this is the checklist, so you can follow this checklist. So let me see, put it in documentation documentation.txt, right? So it's the same thing. So txt, so this is the text format. So you can just follow this, right? Just follow this and save this. And I also have a well documented. If you need explanation to each section of the code, I have it here as well. So let me check here. So every section I explain everything. Let me copy this as well. So this is the documented aspect. So instead of this, I will rename this so that documented, let me come documented, or no need to put that. So I will remove this. So no need to put that. But if you want the documented aspect of the code, every line is well documented. So I'm explaining every block of code. So I have it here. So you can as well ask for this. If you want this, you can say I explain everything, every section, everything that I was doing line by line. I explain everything. So if you want it, just hit me up, or better still, you can clone my, you can just go to this my what are they calling, to my GitHub account, right? Gaioskid, this is my name here, Gaioskid, right? So you can just go to Gaioskid and check my repository. If you check my repository, you are going to see this is the app here, Todo App, Todo API. This is it here, Todo API. So you can check it out. This is the code here, Todo API, right? So that's it. So you can clone it, clone that one. So for documentation, but this one is what I want to send now. I want to upload this to GitHub. So this is the one that you should, I will send you the link. I will send you the link for this. But if you want the other documented version, well documented version, then you can go and take it yourself. But this is the link I'm going to send for you. So let me go to this place. So I will initialize my repository. So I will put initial commit. So save all commit and changes. So for that, so I will publish it. Todo API. So Todo App API. So this is what you should go. So I will make it what, public. So you should publish it. So that's it, it's done. So I've published it to my GitHub. So I'm going to send this API now. I'm going to send this link to you. So just link. So this is the link here. So you just copy this. What you just have to do is to what? Go to your terminal, right? Let me see, ls. So cd. So just go to the directory that you want. Let me make directory here, sample. So I will call this directory sample, cd sample, right? ls. So you just create your directory, to do app or anything you want to create it. So you go to that directory. So you just do git clone, right? Then you paste git clone space, then you paste the link that we sent to you. Can you see that this is the link? I will send you this link and click enter. Once you click on enter, everything is fine, right? So clear. So once you click on enter, code, open your VS code using code dot to open it on this correct directory. So once you clone it and you open your code, everything is fine. So you see your app here. Can you see that? Or better still safe, before you open code, just navigate. So if you do ls, right, you see once you clone it, when you are done cloning it, do ls. Once you do ls, you see Todo App API. So cd to that app, Todo App API, right? cd to it, then ls. So you see the files. You have node modules, we have server.js. So you code, then you open your VS code. So once you open your VS code, so you open your terminal. So Ctrl J to open your terminal, or better still, you can come to this three dot and just click on yes, I trust this author. Click on this three dot, click on terminal and click on on new, or you can just press Ctrl J. Once you press Ctrl J, it should bring your terminal for you. So once you bring your terminal, right? Once you bring your terminal, don't forget, install what they calling it, all those packages that I say you should install them, right? We have Postman. You download Postman for testing. You download Google Chrome formatter. But if you don't want to use Google Chrome formatter, you can just use your Postman. Then Node.js need to be installed initially, right? Then you start what? So once you once you clone the GitHub, everything should be installed. But what you need to install before you clone this is Node.js. You need Node.js and Postman. So what are they calling it? Express is already installed, right? I already have Express installed on it already, so no need to install Express, right? So you just do what? Node, just type node server.js, run it, and your server should be what's running. So that's only what you just need to run. Clone the GitHub repository and type node server.js, and your file is running. Then you go to your to your endpoint, right? Go to your postman, go to your get, right? Your local host. So you can just type localhost, right? Your local host. So you can either use your local IP address 127, but you can still use your local host. So let me put localhost here. Let me remove this to localhost. Localhost, right? You can still use your localhost, and once you enter your localhost, what am I doing? Put. So go to my get. So I'll copy this. So I want to go to my get. Control A V. So click on enter. So you see all the posts that I have here. Can you see them? So these are all the posts, right? So test each of them. For your post, don't forget to go to body raw and change it to what? JSON, right? So that's basically what is that for that. So that's what this project is all about. So this is how to create your API, test your API, and everything is working fine. I believe you are able to learn one or two things from this course, and I am happy to take this course because I learned a lot while developing, or better say while working on this course, right? I learned a lot, right? So thank you for your time, and till next time. All right, so till next time, bye.